Scammers online, spreading their lies, pumping stocks with dollar signs in their eyes. But we see through the noise, cut through the mold, calling out fraudsters. Truth be told, hey, expose the lies, let the story unfold. Truth be told, yeah, shining the light on the tricks they sold. No hype, no spin, we bring the facts, let the truth roll in. Fraudsters beware, your game's getting old. We're taking it back when truth be told. Truth be told. Truth be told. And the truth shall set you free.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Truth Be Told. We have got a huge slate of stuff for you. Our front end is front loaded because this week we have to talk about not only updates in the whole Lisa Cook situation, but also FOMC that she actually got to participate in because of, well, some of the stuff that we're going to elaborate on. Or if you've been paying attention to some of the extras this week, you're probably already caught up on. But before we get too into that, I want to bring on our guest for tonight. We are Sans Amy. So I'm joined only and solely by Platinum Sparkles. How are you doing this evening?
Hello, good. How are you?
A little chilly. That's why you got the jacket.
Yeah, the air conditioner just like kicked in. So I'm
It
like,
just kicked in a little too hard.
yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we should get started on things. Oh, what? Oh, my screen share got robbed. I was robbed. I had some technical difficulties, and so I guess it DC'd the screen share. Oh. But anyway, so where we last left off last time, I believe, was Pulte screaming into the void and wondering what the ruling was going to be heading into this week. We did eventually, because it dropped Monday evening. Let me see here. Yeah, on the 15th. So that would have been, Monday evening. The ruling from the DC appellate court basically denying the government their stay. And I wasn't surprised by this. I personally wasn't surprised. I went over kind of the legal stuff with that already. Was there any thoughts you had on it, Platinum, as far as...
I have not really been following this that much, to be honest, other than like what you guys are following. So that's pretty much where I get my information.
All right. Well, I'll breeze us through this so we can get to the FOMC meeting. Basically, of course, we got, and I find this highly, like, Bill, do you realize that you've been talking nonstop about this shit since you first dropped it? Like, if the lady doth protest too much, methinks, applies to anyone, it would be you, Bill. Which kind of is the case with this situation, because in addition to finding out that, well, she had the preliminary mortgage application that listed the condo as a second residence, not a primary residence. We also find out that she wasn't afoul of the tax stuff, unlike Pulte's parents. So, like, that pretty much carried things in here. Most of that mortgage stuff I think we covered. Sorry, I'm having to reopen the tabs and see what they were. Then we got the wonderful thing of it wouldn't be Bill Pulte unless he was taking credit for something that he had absolutely nothing to do with, and also trying to threaten that, we're going to go out and get more of these mortgage people. Like he says, we found more of these people and we're going to expose them, yet I haven't heard any new ones since the whole Lisa Cook situation. And of course, this investigation that he's trying to claim, credit for was, the search warrants were executed back in 2022. So doesn't sound like that has anything to do with you, Billy Boy. We also finally have gotten platinum what the Pulte plan is. You know how we're going to solve the housing crisis, according to Bill? We're going to open more trailer parks, of course. Single wide motorhomes.
Plan.
Totally.
With crypto,
with crypto backing them, of course.
Like backing it or something. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Oh my goodness. So we also got Besant chiming in on this, saying that Trump was right about the Federal Reserve, and they're too late because of the bad jobs numbers that they needed to cut in June. So yet another person admitting that maybe the economy isn't as good as Donald Trump has been saying it is.
If in fact these numbers are true, it shows that President Trump was right about the Federal Reserve. They are too late, and because of the bad numbers, they likely would have been cutting in June. And if we believe the numbers, and I can tell you the one thing this administration is not going to do, and we are not going to let the Democrat media surrogates do, is during President Biden, President Harris's campaign, they told the American people, it's a vibe session. You don't understand how good you have it. President Trump was elected for change, and we are going to push through with the economic policy.
Okay, put aside all the like extra filler he decides to put in there to like make up for the facts, but like, I guess you could say that maybe Besant is the only adult in the room because he's just saying that, you know, the jobs numbers are bad, therefore the economy is bad, therefore the Fed should cut, which is stuff that we've been saying that the administration should be doing if it wants to get the rate cuts it wants. But like Donald Trump's trying to have his cake and eat it
rather
too.
than being like, oh, right. He's like, oh, I'm going to fire the people who are saying the jobs numbers are bad. Remember I said that? I was like, why isn't he using that to his advantage?
But, you know, here's Besant basically on TV saying that.
Pump those unemployment numbers.
Post more of the bad numbers so you're probably.
I don't think he understands how it works.
This was another one that came up was this is Pulte Plan 2.0, which is the low. We just unleashed Fannie and Freddie on increasing the housing supply by doubling their low-income housing tax cut budget to $2 billion each. Notice the second half of that. Like, if we're in a housing crisis, what exactly is rentals going to do to make houses more affordable? That just, I mean, make rents more affordable.
Yes, it's like. I mean, every tweet just shows how more clueless he is.
Everybody.
Just everyone, right? It's like,
because the person clapping at him is clearly in the mortgage industry. If it wasn't clear enough. Over here too. But like every time he opens his mouth, it's literally shoe and mouth with what he's doing. Oh, that post was deleted by the author. So
I mean, has Pulte ever had a mortgage?
No, I doubt it. I doubt it very much. But
I highly doubt
we're gonna do we'll see how long we spend on the FOMC.
Okay, this is a good song.
Wait,
what is this?
Okay, look, I spliced something together to make the intro part for the I didn't go with the whole Q&A session. That would have been 45 minutes. So I clipped out the best 16 minutes, and I gave us a fun little intro. So we're gonna expand this.
Yeah, I got tagged in this because it's so good.
Good afternoon.
Great. Thank you. Chris Rugaber says.
Okay, I'm going to boot. All I wanted to do was just that little intro because I had a little fun editing that at the beginning. So we're going to move it up to 1.5 speed so we can get through the rest of the 16 minutes fairly briskly.
As you know, Fed Governor Stephen Miran has kept his position at the White House, even as he's joined the Fed board. This is the first time, I believe, the Fed's board has had someone with executive branch ties.
At any point you want this to stop, just
does this compromise the Fed's independence from day-to-day politics? And relatedly, how can you maintain the public's perception the Fed is politically independent with this dynamic? Thank you.
So we did welcome a new committee member today, as we always do. and the committee remains united in pursuing our dual mandate goals. We're strongly committed to maintaining our independence, and beyond that, I really don't have anything to share.
He is really good about just like anything that looks or sounds vaguely political. It's like, I ain't touching it. Not with a 40-foot pole. Absolutely not.
Yep.
And then just as a quick follow-up, I'm sorry. You and other Fed officials have spoken extensively about the impact of tariffs on inflation. Although perhaps with many companies appearing to eat the tariffs, tariffs may be impacting the labor market and other parts of the economy instead. Do you see that as a possible outcome here, that tariffs are the reason we're seeing some slowing, particularly in the labor market, rather than in inflation? Thanks.
It's certainly possible. We're beginning to see, we have begun to see goods prices showing through into higher inflation, and actually the increase in goods prices accounts for most of the increase in inflation, or perhaps all of the increase in inflation over the course of this year. Those are not very large effects at this point, and we do expect them to continue to build over the course of the rest of the year and into next year. And it's also possible that there may be effects on employment, but that I would say if you're looking at why employment is doing what it's doing, that's much more about the change in immigration. So the supply of workers has obviously come way down. There's very little growth, if any, in the supply of workers, and at the same time, demand for workers has also come down quite sharply, and to the point where we see what I've called a curious balance. Typically when we say things are in balance, that sounds good, but in this case, the balance is because both supply and demand have come down quite sharply. Now demand coming down a little more sharply because we now see the unemployment rate edging up.
Under what circumstances?
And there's a lot of parts to that like, first of all, like we talked, I think last week or the week before that, of course you're going to see a lot of like job. Sorry, hit the mute button there. Unemployment, because like they said, like he was getting at, like these businesses are eating the costs because they know that the weak economy that no one wants to talk about and the consumers can't take the higher prices, so they're just going to cut expenses and hope that they can make it.
Yeah, they're just going to fire people and not hire anyone. Like, that's the easiest.
Which is why, like he said, you saw a lot of job growth come down because no one wants to hire, and B, that has the knock-on effect for like immigrants coming in looking for jobs. If there's no jobs, they stop coming. It's weird how that works.
Yep.
So you like it's kind of has that knock-on effect that has led to this, as Jerome put it, odd balance. When they're just kind of tied together like that.
Answers would a larger than 25 basis points rate cut be warranted, and how seriously was that option entertained at your meeting this week?
There wasn't widespread support at all for a 50 basis point cut today. I think we've done very large rate hikes.
Some might say it was one person.
One tiny dot.
Very large rate cuts in the last 5 years, and you tend to do those at a time when you feel that policy is out of place and needs to move quickly to a new place. That's not at all what I feel certainly now. I feel like our policy has been doing the right thing so far this year. I think we were right to wait and see how tariffs and inflation and the labor market evolved. I think we're now reacting to the much lower level of job creation and other evidence of softening in the labor market and saying, well, those risks are maybe not fully balanced, but moving in the direction of balance now. And so that warrants a change in policy.
How concerned are you about the slowdown in the jobs market for households at home, especially younger Americans struggling to land a job?
So it's an interesting labor market, and obviously we think it's appropriate that we reduce our rates so that we become more neutral, which presumably will be better for the labor market. You see people who are sort of more at the margin, so kids coming out of college and younger people, minorities are having a hard time finding jobs. The overall job finding rate is very, very low. However, the layoff rate is also very low. So you've got a low.
Right, because you're having the situation. So you're seeing the cutback on hiring, but in more skilled jobs, you're seeing like companies don't exactly want to just like in tech, you're seeing a lot of layoffs because you saw from COVID a lot of over exuberance because everyone thought we would be in a lockdown world where everything would be digital and stuff like that. But you have also a lot of companies kind of in some of these middling, like they're not like your retail stuff, but they're also not your high tech that are trying to retain workers in case the economy somehow rebounds. But it's just kind of a weird situation on how the employment is structured right now, where the job losses are, which is a lot of like industry and tech. And then there's just no job gains. So no one's hiring and they're trying to retain, but like it's being exacerbated by tariffs and tariff costs that are forcing them to make some sort of cuts because they can't. No one wants to buy more expensive goods.
Low hiring environment. And the concern is that if you start to see layoffs, the people who are laid off there won't be a lot of hiring going on. So that could very quickly flow into higher unemployment. In a healthier economy, healthier labor market, there would be jobs for those people. But now the hiring rate is very, very low. So that's been a growing concern over the last few months. And it's one of the reasons why we think it's appropriate that we begin to shift our policy focus toward a more balanced one.
Hi, Victoria Guida with Politico. You've talked a lot about Fed independence and the importance of it over the years, but as markets have questions about what exactly President Trump's intentions are with the Fed, what would you point to as the things they should be watching to determine that the Fed is still making decisions based on, the economic outlook rather than political considerations?
Look, it's deeply in our culture to do our work based on the incoming data and never consider anything else. That's just everybody who's at the Fed really feels strongly about that way. So, you'll know it by the way we talk about what we're doing, by the speeches that people give, by the decisions that we make. You'll know that we're just still going to do that. That's all we do. And we don't frame these questions at all or see them in terms of political outcomes. I think when you get to another part of Washington, everything is seen through the lens of does it help or hurt this political party, this politician. That's the framework. And I think people find it hard to believe that that is not at all the way we think about things at the Fed. We're taking a longer perspective. We're trying to serve the American people as best we can. So I think you would be able to tell. I don't believe we'll ever get to that place. I would say we're doing our work exactly as we always have now, and people they're making their arguments, and we're having a great discussion around these challenging issues. So.
Do you see the court case around Lisa Cook as being related to questions of Fed independence?
I see it as a court case that it would be inappropriate for me to comment on.
Hi, Stephanie Rule, MSNBC. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said that the Federal Reserve suffers from mission creep and institutional bloat. He's now calling for an independent review. Would you support an independent review, or are you open to any sort of reform in any areas of the Fed?
He has a response to this, but I like my idea of it better. Well, partly because it's my idea, but I think it handles it more better. We already have an independent review. We're mandated to go before Congress whenever they request us to. So if Bessent would like to, further, direct his concerns to Congress already reviews us. So tell Grandpappy to sit down and shut up. I wouldn't have added that last part, but we already have independent review. What are you talking about?
Of course, I'm not going to comment on anything the Secretary says or really any other officer says. So in terms of reform at the Fed, we just went through a lengthy and I think very successful process of updating our monetary policy framework. I would say there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes around the assets we have in the Federal Reserve system and at the board. Are they the right size? We're actually going through a 10% headcount reduction through the whole Fed, including the board and all the reserve banks. The employment at the Fed at the end of that will be basically at the same level it was more than 10 years ago. So we will have had zero job growth for more than a decade when we're finished with that, and I think we'll probably do more than that. So I think we're certainly open to constructive criticism and ways to do our jobs better.
But not an independent review?
We're certainly open to
Again, we already have an independent review through Congress.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. What evidence do you see of tariffs showing up in inflation?
Well, if you can take goods, just sort of the broad goods category, and last year goods inflation was negative. If you go back 25 years, that was the typical thing, was that goods inflation goods prices generally went down, even adjusting for quality. So that was not the case during the pandemic, of course. Goods inflation went very high, but we had essentially returned to zero or slightly negative inflation. Now, I think goods inflation over the course of the past year is 1.2%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a big change. So we think, analysts have different views, but we think it's contributing, 0.3 or 0.4 or something like that to the current core PCE inflation reading, which is 2.9%. So it's contributing. What seems to be happening is that the tariffs are mostly not being paid by exporters, mostly being paid by really the companies that sit between the exporter and the consumer. So if you buy something and you sell it through retail or you use it to make a product, you're probably taking a lot of those costs on and not able to pass it fully along to the consumer yet. That appears to be what we're seeing. All of those companies and entities in the middle, they'll tell you that they have every intention of passing that through in time, but they're not doing that now. To the consumer, the pass-through has been pretty small. It's been slower and smaller than we thought. But the evidence is it's very clear that there's some pass-through.
I also wanted to ask if you could share with us the conditions under which you might consider leaving the Fed in May.
I have nothing new on that for you today.
He seems very annoyed by that question. You can usually Jerome is pretty flat, but you can really tell when something has gotten him because he has a different intonation, I think. Go listen to his "Shut the fucking door" clip, and it has that same kind of sort of choppiness as this does, where it's just I don't have time for you. I'm just I'm not angry. I'm just a disappointed dad that you asked that question.
Hi, Katerina Saraiva with Bloomberg News. I just wanted to follow up on one of your answers just a couple minutes ago. We've often heard you talk about how you and your colleagues do not think about politics. This does not enter the room. But one of your new colleagues does come from this world, right, where everything is seen through this framework of politics and of what party is being helped, and that person is still employed by the White House.
Yeah.
How can markets and the public interpret some of his speeches, for example, and then some of the forecast that we see today? I mean, the median for this year was moved because of the introduction of his forecast. I'm talking about the number of rate cuts seen this year. What do you say to markets and the public that are trying to interpret?
I think it's a good time that we can cut in and actually look at some of those, because he forecasted GDP of 4% in 2027 and had the dot plot for 2027 down at 2.25%, which I've had this discussion multiple times before, that if you're actually expecting to have some sort of GDP growth, then you shouldn't need to lower the rates, because rates are a function of growth and inflation expectations. So that can be both, that could be either or. So like if you're expecting economic growth, like it doesn't hurt to keep the rates up because the economy is doing fine. But of course, we got this little stray dot down here. Like everyone's up here, and he's down at 3% and trending down to 2027. Again, still under everybody at 2.25. So it's like, and then apparently goes back up. I don't know. Make it make sense.
Well,
I guess
because after that, Trump will be gone.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Hello,
yeah.
Duh.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out the magic math, and it's just not mathing for me.
What you guys are saying.
So there's 12 vote, 19 participants of whom 12 vote, as you know, on a rotating basis. So no one voter, can really. The only way for any voter to really move things around is to be incredibly persuasive, and the only way to do that in the context in which we work is to make really strong arguments based on the data and one's understanding of the economy. That's really all that matters, and that's how it's going to work. And I think that is the way the institution, if that's in the DNA of the institution, that's not going to change.
And then I wanted to ask about a Gallup poll that showed that Americans now have more confidence in the president than the Federal Reserve when it comes to doing what's right for the economy.
Yikes. That poll's a little terrifying, in my opinion, which is really weird because there are polls that have been coming out that even though you get that, maybe this is one of those times when.
Oh, okay, you're back.
Okay, weird. Okay.
We have a little technical difficulties happening today. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So what's weird here is there's polling that suggests that the president's approval rating of the economy is negative. Like more people don't like it compared to do like it. But then you also have this poll where they trust Trump more than the Federal Reserve. And it's just weird. I'm trying to get my head around that. And it might be one of those things that like pollsters where they ask questions, like good ones just try and ask neutral questions. But, the skeezier ones, they ask questions to try and get the answers they desire. It's all in the art of answering the question to get the science you want. But these are two completely contradictory things. Like you think that Trump's doing a bad job with the economy, but you trust him more than the Fed. And it's weird. And I don't get how you get there with that.
They're polling Plute.
Well, if they were polling Plute, then they would say that Trump's doing a fantastic job. I don't know.
That's true.
Why do you think that is, and what's your response? What's your message to the public?
Our response is we're going to do everything we can to use our tools to achieve the goals that Congress has given us, and we're not going to get distracted by anything. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep doing our jobs.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Jennifer Schonberger with Yahoo Finance. If you're cutting rates, why continue to reduce the size of your balance sheet, then pause the unwinding?
Well, I think we're cutting the size of our balance sheet quite marginally now. As you know, with the balance sheet, we're still in an abundant reserves condition, and we've said that we would stop somewhat above somewhat above an ample reserves level. That's where we are, and we're getting closer to that. We're monitoring it very carefully. We don't think that has at all significant macroeconomic effects. These are pretty small numbers moving around inside.
No, I'd agree with that.
The level of runoff is not very large, so I wouldn't attribute macroeconomic consequences to that at this point.
And at his recent confirmation hearing, Stephen Miran brought up that the Fed actually has 3 mandates from Congress, not just jobs and stable prices, but also moderate long-term interest rates. So what does Congress mean by moderate long-term interest rates? How should we understand that when we see...
You should understand it as meaningless, not for the reasons that Jerome's going to say, but like, as we discussed here before, like the Fed doesn't control long-term interest rates. So like, that's the market. Like if there's any instability in the interest rates, like beyond like the year part of the curve, like, or 2 year, like that's on the market, and the market trying to determine what growth and inflation expectations are, which is why, Jerome's going to go and say that, the other 2 mandates are what's important. That's would in theory lead to stable interest rates, and they're now proposing in Congress. Let me see if I can find the tab that has that. Oh yeah, here it is. Where they're basically suggesting getting rid of the dual mandate, and let's see here, that would seek the Fed into the dual mandate and make the only goal of the Fed controlling inflation, so price stability, and get rid of the maximum employment part of the mandate, which, again, I don't think that's like it. If you're looking at it from just a price stability thing, or controlling inflation, or, like, you would think that maximum unemployment would simply manifest naturally from that. So I don't think it harms, but it doesn't help by just making it inflation only. And,
well, it doesn't help, because if that was the case right now, then they would probably just keep rates the same at this point.
Right. It cuts against what Trump wants. Like, if you're going to focus on the inflation part of it, you're basically means that you discount that the, employment numbers are softening, and that seems like the economy is starting to weaken. And the Fed would simply say, well, we still see some, possible potential problems from...
They would probably raise the rates at this point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That would make more sense than lowering it
now,
if that was their only mandate.
I understand also that the Fed, or the current members of the Fed, and I get it, they're economists that went to school over it. But from the way I understand it, from the people I read that are also economists that have gone to school for it, I tend to lean more towards the tariffs are a tax in their price. Like, yeah, they're like, if you're looking at prices as inflation and not the monetary framework as inflation, then sure, you may get some transitory inflation if you're strictly just going by prices as your measure. But I understand that's how the Fed does things. So, but yeah, that just makes things harder for them if the goal of the current administration is to get rates lower. That bill makes it way harder, because if you're just looking at inflation as opposed to like inflation and the economy, which would be the way, if you have a healthy economy, of course, you're going to have more employment. So, yeah.
Actually, it's kind of interesting. I didn't even know about that. But I did.
Yeah, I didn't know about it till Amy brought it up to me and showed me that article.
Friggin' Amy. Where are you? But whatchamacallit, they didn't even release the inflation numbers recently, I thought, right? That we're supposed to come
out. We'll get to that. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of that data they're holding back now. I get it. I get the feeling it's because it's a little too inconvenient for them.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not good.
So anyway, let's keep going.
The 10-year Treasury moving, and how do you think about this part of the mandate when policy choices like rate cuts or balance sheet reductions affect the long end of the yield curve?
So we always think of it as the dual mandate, maximum employment and price stability, for a long time, because we think moderate long-term interest rates are something that will result from stable inflation.
Because they have no control over long-term interest rates
and maximum employment. So we haven't thought about that for a very long time as a third mandate that requires independent action. So that's where that is. And there's no thought of as far as I'm concerned, there's no thought of considering that, considering that we somehow incorporate that in as something in a different way.
If you know that you cannot stop the tornado from landing, why would you spend any time trying to stop the tornado from landing? It like there's short of going out into the market and compelling private actors that this will be the price that the interest rate is at. There's not really anything the Fed can do. So,
thanks, Chair Powell. Matt Egan from CNN. We recently learned that average FICO credit scores are down this year by 2 points, the most since 2009 during the Great Recession, and delinquencies are high for car loans, personal loans, credit cards. How concerned, if at all, are you about the health of consumer finances, and do you expect today's cut will help?
So, we're aware of that. I think default rates have been kind of ticking up, and we do watch that. They're not at a level, I don't believe they're at a level where overall they're terribly concerning, but it is something that we watch. Lower rates should support economic activity. I don't know that one rate cut will have a visible effect on that, but over time, a strong economy with a strong labor market is what we're aiming for, and stable prices. So that should help.
Yeah, in fact, speaking to that, after they did this rate cut, 3-year mortgage went up, which, so much for helping people. I mean, we've talked about it a couple times in passing. I don't think we've really spent a whole lot of time on it. Platinum, talking about default rates, talking about the rise in short-term credit, rickety people as of late. So all while, the financial markets continue to climb out of control, which is just
right. Did you see the
crazy.
Google searches for credit card debt are up higher than 2008, and also help with mortgage? Google search is up higher than 2008.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
This rate cut is coming at a time when the stock market is at or near
all-time highs. Just what we were saying.
Are elevated historically. Is there a risk that cutting rates could overheat financial markets, potentially fueling a bubble?
We're tightly focused on our goals.
What are you talking about?
It's already there.
There.
Also part of the problem is we part of it, I think, is something that's kind of out of the Fed's control, really, because I think a lot of the exuberance comes from post-COVID. We've created sort of this gambling culture around financial markets as opposed to investing, and it's a financial tool for saving for the future, instead of YOLO, zero DTE, SPY puts, so.
Yeah, but I mean, it's everything though, right? It's literally everything. They have, zero reserves on banks still. Everyone can just YOLO all this money into anything, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And our goals are maximum employment and price stability, and so we take the actions that we take with an eye on those goals. Separately, and that's why we did what we did today. Separately, we monitor financial stability very, very carefully, and I would say it's a mixed picture, but households are in good shape, banks are in good shape. Overall, households are still in good shape in the aggregate, and I know that people at the lower end of the income spectrum are under pressure, obviously, but from a financial stability perspective, we monitor that picture. We don't have a view that there's a right or wrong level of asset prices for any particular financial asset, but we monitor the whole picture, really looking for structure.
Yes, but at the same time, lowering rates kind of forces people out of safer investments in an attempt to seek yield in riskier asset classes, namely stocks, or stocks with high dividends, to replace the fact that the safer assets are depreciating. Though, as I say that, the long end of the curve seems to be bending back upwards. So, it's weird. So the front end of the curve is still hovering around 4%. And then you've got the middle part of the curve that's is it still inverted? Let me double check that before I, shove my foot into my mouth. Come on, give me the yield. Yeah. So here. So the yield curve is it's getting better. So here's the front end, and then we still got a sag between the 1 year and the 5 year. The 10-year, at least, is uninverted, and then everything 10 out is up. So, I mean, there's still yield out there on the longer end of the curve, but not quite there yet as far as some of the middle term stuff, which I don't know if that has anything to do with people being concerned. Like they have faith in the overall future of the U.S. economy, but for some reason between 1 and 5 years, I don't know why
Gee, I
specifically
wonder
that
what's
bracket
happening.
of years that people are seeking safety and security in the U.S. bond market between in a time period between 6 months to 5 years. I don't know what could have been causing that inversion of the market, seeking safety and liquidity. I don't
Mystery
know.
forever.
Mystery for everyone.
Vulnerabilities, and I would say those are not elevated right now.
All right, so that's the end of that. After that, well, it was earlier in the week, but this is an easier lead in. I know last week we talked about Bessent wanting to beat the shit out of Bill Pulte.
Oh, yeah.
And he had an interview where he joked about the Hamilton Burr duel, which is amazing. Treasury secretaries dating back to Alexander Hamilton have a history of dueling.
That's amazing. Alexander Hamilton. That's awesome.
But I think there's more of a reason that Bessent might be a little mad at Pulte, because more and more people in the Trump administration are starting to get scrutiny about their mortgages. And Bessent has been the most recent one where, let's see here, an occupancy in New York and Massachusetts at the same time in 2007. So, like, Pulte kicked over the hornet's nest, and now everyone's digging everyone's shit.
So how many of these people with multi-million-dollar homes listed more than one as their primary home? I guess we should find out, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
It's not fraud, Pollute, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's media doing his work for him. He suddenly got cold feet about investigating mortgages right about the time they started having R's after their names.
Yeah.
But we did get an appeal after the DC Circuit Court denied the stay. And after the FOMC meeting, the government went and ran to the Supreme Court to get an emergency administrative stay like they had tried in the DC court. Lisa Cook has responded, though I think her official response she has till the 25th of this month, basically saying since the government waited 2 days for the FOMC meeting to be done before they filed this with the Supreme Court, not exactly an emergency and not necessarily needing an administrative stay to stop the proceedings, on top of the fact that, Lisa Cook has been doing her job this entire time. So a stay would not preserve the status quo. In fact, a stay would disrupt the status quo. But the fact that the Supreme Court is not immediately granting this stay and instead pushing back arguments till likely the end of next week being completed and then making a decision, I get the distinct feeling that the government is not on the winning side of whatever argument is coming out of this, because it's not like the Supreme Court has been particularly shy in protecting the administration when it feels like it, and it doesn't seem like it feels like it right now. So I put the odds on that they don't get the stay, especially when the court went out of its way to basically carve out protection of the for cause. Like, they got rid of it for everyone else. They got rid of Humphrey's executor, except for the Fed. And now Trump is basically trying to jump over that line. And I get the feeling when the Supreme Court draws a line in the sand and tells the president, don't cross that, that if he crosses that, they're not going to get the results that they want. That's just me.
Yeah.
Especially as we go along through this and it's becoming more and more obvious that the facts as presented are incorrect. And I remember, I was going to play the clip, but I don't think I will, considering I still got some stuff on this segment before we get to the next group of segment, and that on the Lawfare podcast, going over the Trump trials, they were talking about how this is like talking about the situation of if it like, do they have to I don't know why I'm blanking on this. When they're not supposed to like investigate the whole idea of the president's decision. That's supposed to be something that like they can assess the facts. They can assess that if he's following the rules, but like the whole thought processes of the president, that's an executive thing. That's not something the judiciary should touch. But the question is, where is the line on that? Because if they're supposed to just presume the facts of the president, what if you get a situation like, where the president says that I have to use my executive power to save the Supreme Court because they've been kidnapped and are going to be killed, and it goes before the Supreme Court, who's sitting there and paneled. Obviously, it's a lie that the president is saying that, the Supreme Court's been kidnapped. Do they have to give deference to the president because the president stated this? Or do they get to act on the fact that, no, we clearly have not been kidnapped, by terrorists or whatever? And it seems like the same sort of fact pattern here, where it looks pretty clear that Lisa Cook didn't lie on her mortgage application. So do they have to play deference to obvious lies? It seems like the answer there would be no, but,
Should be no. But is it no?
Yeah, because it's not exactly clear. Let's see here. We also get more confirmation of that because last week we had gotten that Lisa Cook's preliminary mortgage application had listed the property as a second home. Then we also had leaked that Adam Schiff was planning on suing over the fact that it was malicious prosecution. And now we get out that as to the Letitia James case, that Trump has fired. I know the article says is poised to, but the way he's talking, it sounds like it has already happened, is firing the attorney general. I mean, not the attorney general, but the U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, because he won't prosecute her because he doesn't feel he has enough evidence to bring a prosecution. So Trump's going to kick him out and replace him with someone else who will. Just like what happened with, what's his name? The mayor of New York, where they basically fired government lawyers until they found a lackey that would, dismiss the claims against him. But, so...
Are you talking about the one with like the hair dye sweating down his face?
Oh, no, the newer one. I know I should know.
Okay. QAnon or whatever his name is.
That's running.
Como?
His brother. I don't follow New York politics all that much, and I know I should know, but I just completely blanked on it. Well, also, we had this apparently looks like it should have been a DM to Pam Bondi, but was posted and then deleted off Truth Social, where like he's basically saying, I'm going to fire this guy that we just mentioned, and I'm going to replace him with Lindsay. I don't know who Lindsay is supposed to be, but someone says it must be Lindsay Halligan. No idea who that is. So that whole silly situation. The good news is if you do want to follow the Lisa Cook case, it's free. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay on Pacer. No, it's not Cuomo. It's, gosh, who's the guy that's, oh my goodness. I want to say he's the, let me double check.
Oh, what? How come I can't see the chat? Where'd that come from? Oh, there it is. Okay.
The current.
Oh, my chat button went away. Eric Adams?
Yes, thank you, Eric Adams.
Oh, rub my eyes.
Bam! I knew the chat would rescue me from my ignorance.
And mine too. Oh, Manuel, hello. Hi, Jen.
We also got an update now I had posted about this. I thought it was the whole case was dismissed, but it was only these specific people have done the voluntary dismissal. So I still believe it was a settlement that led to that, and only part of them, because it's not a class action.
Wait, what is this for?
This is the one where that's what it's for. The discrimination case in federal
where they all
court.
got fired.
I don't know any of what's going on because it's a state level case, and it's much harder to follow the defamation case against Bill and and Fannie Mae. But some of them have what I would assume, because you don't know, because it's not a class action, so we don't know what settlement terms, if there was any. They're not required to say it was even a settlement, just these claims were dismissed. And seeing that Fannie Mae still has yet to, and in fact filed for their third extension of time on September 16th, they still have not filed their answer to the complaint yet, that it was 100% or 99.9% sure that it was a settlement for those parties. And since it's a class action, not everybody has to, agree to the settlement and, stuff like that we know about from the AMC situation. Oh yeah. I did learn more about our good friend, Mr. Fish Sticks. So I finally have traced this all the way back to its nexus point. So originally we had talked about how Mr. Fish Sticks, James Fish Sticks, basically lied about his history his job history at Greenlight, and there was a lawsuit and a promissory note that he defaulted on and all of that. But in one of the filings, it referenced back to this lawsuit, which I found. So how this all started, I think I've got all the ducks in a line for Mr. Fish Sticks, is that he left, after, at the time, Greenlight didn't know he had stolen proprietary data, but was going around promoting his new, firm that he was setting up, his new fund, and telling people that he was head of macro at Greenlight. They were checking up with Greenlight, and Greenlight was like, no, he was just a research guy. There's no head of macro at Greenlight. So when his investors were coming back and telling him that, he then turned around and sued Greenlight for defamation and breach of contract. That's what this lawsuit is, which then got dismissed. And then he went on his shit talking tour, and then he got sued by his former employer for breach of contract and defamation and all that stuff. So all of this started because, what we already knew, that, James Fishback, or Fish Sticks as we like to call him, is just a massive piece of shit and a liar and a con man. So let's see here. Is there anything else? Yeah, that pretty much covers all of that stuff. At a later time, I will have to do the filing that has go back to the district case, the one in the DC District Court, because there's some absolutely hilarious filings there from people that are trying to do amicus briefs. One guy that is absolutely lunatic. I'll have to show you the clips just so you can see them. I sent them to Amy, and she would.
In the Fish?
No, and Lisa Cook.
Or...
Lisa Cook. Yeah, sorry,
okay.
I jumped back and forth there.
Okay.
They're against. Like most of them are against, and then they're
against Lisa.
Yeah, they're in favor of the government. And there was one guy that was trying to use an amicus brief to get the judge removed from the case, but you don't get to do that. You're a non-party, sir. But someone did finally figure it out. We finally got something I haven't seen since the AMC case, a sov-sit motion to intervene from someone trying to intervene on behalf of himself in favor of the government from prison.
Oh my God.
Literally
what?
the address that is on, because, when they file it, if you send it by mail, they put the envelope and filing on there. And it's a
man,
prison
that's an
address
unexpected
with
twist.
the
I did
inmate
not
number
see
on it
that.
and everything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is getting more comical the further we go along this whole Lisa Cook situation, and I just can't wait.
Oh my God.
It's going to be wonderful. Before we get to, I think what I want to do is do the sandwich that we used to do for this one. It'll be a lot more fun that way. So what we're going to do first is next is we'll do the meme stock stuff, and then we'll do the top leading edge news from the day. So some of this stuff you're going to have to help me with, because I've been too much in the Lisa Cook world and not enough in the meme stock realm. But I think we agreed there was not much that had happened so far this week.
Oh, I'm getting a DM that the video was glitching a little bit, but that's
probably
not me. It's you.
I bet. 1 second. I'm going to try and do something. Here. All right. I think I know what the problem is, and I just went and fixed it. Anyway.
Okay.
Hopefully that helps.
Okay.
So in the never-ending story of, also I'm going to close some things.
Oh my God, this stupid thing. Oh, lawsuit.
How many times are they going to say, ooh, we got a lawsuit coming. We got a lawsuit coming. Trust us, bro. We got a lawsuit coming. I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. Like, how many times are they going to threaten the lawsuit that never has yet to come? So do you know what this is about? Did they issue new shares? Is what's going on here? Yeah, the issuance of 7.1 restricted shares to the CEO, 5% of the company. Oh, so they sent more shares to Roger Hamilton. Okay. So basically all those shares that they were supposed to be getting back went straight into his pocket, I guess. So much for that fat dividend. Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this one, I think. Oh my God, how are you supposed to read that?
Oh yeah. I was telling you that like I read it, the whole thing, and I know that you did not read it, and so I was like, oh, let's just wait, and you can read it live.
Is there a better version of this that is actually readable?
You can't just click on it?
I did, and it blew it up.
And then zoom in a little bit?
I can't
do
zoom in.
like do control plus sign.
It does not do anything for me whatsoever there.
Twitter.
What about, is this the same document here? I think I can read it a little better.
Yeah, that's the first page.
September 9th, 2025, Department of Finance for where?
Oh no, this is not the one. This is not the, no. This isn't the funny thing. I don't even know what the hell this is. He sent a letter to his, oh, I thought you were talking about the letter that he was sending out to his
It's in
client.
here, but this is a different one, I think, where it's a duty to protect investors of QNTM and GNS. Yeah, he sent these, I think he said, to different state boards of finance, which we know who the scammers are here. This, I think, is the one you're talking about. This I can also actually read.
Did you read it yet or not yet?
No, I haven't. We're going to read it. I'm going to read it live here, at least. Dear clients, I want to take a moment to sincerely thank each and every one of you. After all, I just robbed a bunch of money from your wallets to put into my... I'm sorry, that's not there.
Literally.
Placed your full trust in me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Exactly. Like it's basically exactly that.
Does he have a process and strategy though? I'm not so sure about
yes,
that.
It's called if I'm on the board and getting paid restricted units for like a certain market cap, I'm going to use your money to benefit myself. Thank you.
over the past several
This is
months,
not
it has
financial
become
advice.
increasingly clear that 90% of my time is being consumed by 10% of clients' questions. I wonder why. I wonder fucking why. Why is that? Is it because you're a piece of shit and you keep losing them their fucking money? Like what?
Could that be why?
You serious? Many of those stem from misleading news articles, social media noise, or distractions that do not impact our core strategy. While I understand the natural instinct is to worry in volatile markets or investments, especially when they're really fucking shitty ones, my role is not to react to headlines. It's to shit he doesn't do, shit he doesn't do, shit he doesn't do, and shit he doesn't do. The clients who trust my judgment made a very bad decision. Commit to the process and allow me to focus on the quick execution I need to perform trades are the ones I can dedicate my highest level of service to. Well, what service are you giving? If like it sounds like I can do my job better if you just be a good
Stop asking
sit down and
questions.
shut up. Stop asking questions.
Keep going though, because it gets funnier. This is the best paragraph, probably.
That is why I've made the decision to cut the total number of households I manage down from 100 to 50. Beginning this
But you
November.
want to know what's funny about that? Hold on. Oh, keep going, and then I'll show you what's funny about that.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I think we'll be merging on the same point here. Let me be crystal clear. This decision will have absolutely nothing to do with the size of your account. It entirely has everything to do with how much you bitch to me about how I'm losing your fucking money.
Probably.
I mean, he's talking about loyalty and trust here. Like it sounds a lot like he's like, you're catching on to my scam, so I'm going to get rid of you now before it gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
I want to spend every ounce of my energy protecting this. You're doing a great job at protecting his assets. All right. Well, he's actually it was originally based in California. I think he's based in Idaho now because he was going to have his big meetup in Boise. So I don't think he's in California anymore, but he was originally based out of California.
He just like sounds like he's from California.
And he looks like a washed up surfer dude from California.
Yeah.
The role of a financial advisor has changed. Where once advisors like my father called people over the phone and got them involved in pump and dumps and lose their license.
No, they were expected to spend most of their time as therapists or handholders. Like he's like totally blaming them for him losing their money.
He's such an insufferable prick.
It's actually nuts. But here, let me share this with you because that's pretty much all the like you
the
get
gist.
the
Yeah,
whole
blaming
point
other people for his
there.
shit. Yes,
Like,
yes, that was exactly what I had seen the screen cap of that little part.
He's trying to go from 100 to
He
50,
went to 100
but
to
hello,
125.
sir, you have 135. Like, how bad are you? With
Really
numbers?
bad, really bad.
What
I
is
don't know how crystal clear I can make that. He's very bad.
So he has 125 non-high net worth clients with $14.7 million. I mean, that's not a little amount of money. But like, hold on, the last time he filed, let me just share something else.
I didn't realize he was linked up with him. I knew he was linked up with West because GNS and their lawsuit that they keep promising but never deliver on. And isn't West also working on the UNTM lawsuit? Yeah, so that's the West. That's
right.
the West connection.
That's how. So this is the last ADV before that one. Is it? Am I sharing it or no?
Yeah, that's.
I think I am.
Wait.
No.
Oh, I think it. Yeah, I
it.
think it dropped for some reason. Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so look at this.
80.
This was before that. He had 51. He had 51 clients with $14.7 point too. So he added like 125-ish. I'm sorry, he added 75 or 74, I guess, clients, but only $500,000 of assets under management with those 74 clients. And on his brochure, it says that you have to have a minimum of $100,000 in order to invest. All I'm saying is, like,
the numbers don't
it'll be
match.
interesting to see.
the number.
And maybe he's kind of trying to get ahead of his client numbers sort of going down and the assets under management going down, perhaps. Possibly. Or maybe he's just, oh, wait, did you even see the part where he said he was, on that tweet, he said that he was going to be doing an open registration on October 3rd?
I think I did, but I also clicked away from it. So if you've got it.
Yeah, okay. So how does doing an open registration work when you're trying to cut your clients down? That would be my question.
He doesn't make any sense.
Like, it's just impossible to try to understand, because most of the time I feel like he's just lying about whatever he's saying. So it's like, why am I even bothering trying to, like,
how he hasn't gotten flagged by state regulators and yanked is.
Oh, of course he has. Did you see what Zishan tweeted about him? Why they, like, parted ways? Oh my god, he actually said it was like partly due to regulatory reasons.
Not surprised.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, least surprising thing of the week, probably.
Yeah. So we did get an update in the case that you brought up to me, the FSD Biosciences, the artist now known as QNTM, and their lawsuit over the whole unbuzzed stuff. We did get an update. Last time we talked was back in August when we had this entire wall. I've never seen it before.
Oh yeah, everything was redacted.
Everything is redacted. Usually you might have something redacted and then you get the FBI thing of all the, like, blackouts and, at least get some sort of documentation. But no, you can't even see these files from the 20th, those two orders, all the way to the 27th. Everything. Just, you can't even download the document. We did get, however, on the 19th, that they have a setting for a bench trial, order resetting trial, bench trial, reset for 11/3/2025. So I assume, since everyone's moving for freaking summary judgment, that's what it is. A bench trial on the summary judgment. So it was originally set for October 29th. So I don't know. What court is this again that it's in? Southern District of Florida. We know anyone in Florida that can go sit in on this for us? We could call up Pulte, maybe. Doug, maybe Doug.
Is he tweeting? I know, right? He's
retired. Put down his phone.
Playing golf.
Stop.
Swing back.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much that. I was contemplating, because of this stuff, that whether to put it under the main news or put it up under the meme stock stuff. But since it's SEC stuff that directly affects retail investors, plus someone not knowing what they're listening to, I figured this next section, put it in the meme stock stuff. So first of all, we have everyone's favorite, Kenny G. This came from a tweet by X Markets, probably 100% misunderstanding what's being said. Let's go ahead and listen to it, and we'll go back to the tweet.
The market maker will use their capital to facilitate your trade, and then will hope to find the eventual buyer of your stock at some point in the future.
Of course, they think that that's market manipulation. That's yeah. That
13
they use their own capital
really
to dump later. No, that's not what he said. Oh my god. That's not what they said.
they're literally stuck with it, and
Yes,
then they
that's
have
exactly
to
what he said.
facilitate a
Until they
trade later.
Yeah, they use their inventory of shares and give it to you, and they hope to find someone to close out the other end of the transaction later. That's literally how market making works, and why you should not listen to X Market News, because they don't even understand the words that come out of other people's mouths. They're that
I mean,
fucking
there's
stupid.
so many reasons why to not listen to this account, but yeah, that's definitely one of them.
We love talking about arbitration and it being where retail investors go to die. But this one came from Better Markets on the 17th.
I love Better Markets.
SEC allowing corporations to force harmed investors into arbitration.
Like if you want like an organization that is actually for retail, no matter what, like they'll say things that retail does not disagree or does not agree with because it's actually like better for them. Like this is the one. Like they're not going to say anything that just for like some like Sam Bankman-Fried tried to donate millions of dollars to them and they would not accept it because they were like, fuck you and fuck your business. Because
yeah, I know, right? Shady. They turned out to be right in the end on that one.
Exactly.
Oh. Speaking of how bad the SEC is right now.
Oh, so bad. So sad. That too.
First of all, I got off my chest about this on the extra that I did because it was the thing that opened it, and basically saying that, you know, Trevor Milton could never get sued by the SEC again, but it'll never change the fact that he's a convicted criminal and always will be, no matter how many Trump pardons he pays for.
Yep.
So yeah, he's trying to run around and gaslight people that since the SEC, you know, dropped the charges that he, during the Trump administration again, that he is totally innocent and didn't do nothing wrong. So even though a jury of his peers found him guilty.
Right. Yeah. It's really sad and pathetic.
Yeah.
Like that you can really just like buy your way out of this shit. It's crazy.
Yeah. And considering some of the people that have other people who've bought their way out of, you know, criminal charges under the Trump administration, he really overpaid.
Yeah, that's
What was it? That one guy with the tax fraud stuff that basically spent a couple $100,000 and that was it.
Yeah.
So this was another one that I had seen on the Better Markets, but I just wanted to show where it was on the SEC, the roundtable. This was the roundtable about getting rid of trade-through prohibitions, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Platinum, is the one where you have to make sure that all trades on all exchanges are basically at the same price, so you can't go to different or am I misremembering it? Yeah, the trade.
Yeah, no, that's right. So the rule prevents exchanges from executing trades at lower prices than those available at other exchanges. Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Partner co-founder Time Trades, alongside Circus, which allowed high-frequency traders aided and abetted in stock exchanges to take advantages of latencies between market centers. So basically, to arbitrage between the different exchanges, more or less. And take advantage of the fact that they can trade faster than anybody and can actually capitalize on that arbitrage and close it almost instantaneously and profit from it. Sure, investors receive the best prices on traders. Trade-through rule allowed smaller exchanges to enter the market and compete with larger exchanges by mandating that other orders must execute at the best available price regardless of which exchange it was found on. Take advantage of this. The trade-through rule has led to the rise of high-frequency traders by making speed a way to profit from trading securities. By prohibiting trades on one venue at a price less than favorable of the price at another venue, the trade-through rule meant that there needed to be a central processor to receive and collate data. Conclusion, the trade-through rule and the rules adopted by it have created a system where high-frequency traders exchanges profit at the expense of ordinary investors. The SEC cannot revise the trade-through rule without addressing this system. Eliminating the trade-through rule would allow investors for whom quantity mattered more than price to make the purchase of large blocks of shares at higher prices than the best offer. But it would leave investors for whom price is the priority unprotected. People like us that don't buy in bulk.
Right. Yep. High frequency traders free to continue front running orders and leave exchanges with the incentive to help them to do so. And so, yeah, they're saying the SEC must reform the way exchanges work. Like I said, like literally everything that they talk about is to benefit retail investors, no matter what.
Then we also got the SEC to issue warning notices. So basically, Wells notices for crypto crackdowns.
Make sure you get your stuff in order, guys. We're going to come investigate you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll make sure to get the books just right.
Exactly.
And
then that is also like before they have to like ask permission to even like do an investigation anyways. Like this is just such a joke.
And of course, you know, the crypto community is going to gobble it up because that means that they're basically deregulating crypto as if it wasn't deregulated enough already. We've already decided that the SEC is not going to prosecute or go after people who are running meme coins. So
obviously,
why not just keep going further? Speaking of meme coins and
oh, gross. Oh, dear.
live streaming, for coin and profit on Pump Fund. Not sure here. We also have everyone's favorite crypto fraudster or grifter or skis bag. This one was an interesting one because I put it for the most part. I have been keeping these like meme, like not meme, but like these crypto treasury companies, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that stuff in the mainstream stuff. But from here on in, MicroStrategies will be in the meme stock section, and you're about to find out why.
Oh, it should be.
Let's let Michael Saylor rip.
And when you dig a bit deeper, what you find is that the inflammatory messages tend to run harder. Lies run harder than truth. Extreme positions run harder in cyberspace on X and through the ecosystem. And, even I notice in times of success, like just of late with our company's never been more successful, and yet the amount of hate and toxicity like that gets posted online has never been greater. And then I'll drill down on some of these, on the people posting, all the negativity and the hate and the criticism. And here's what I see oftentimes. I see it's a person that's never interacted with anybody before, and they have 328 followers, and they share none with me. And I look a little bit, and I'm like, this is not even a person. Mm-hmm. This is a bot. And it turns out, I think, that a lot of the toxic inflammatory behavior online is actually cyber marketing or guerrilla marketing. Like a short seller in my stock has actually paid a digital marketing organization to spin up a bunch of bots to post a bunch
Isn't that always what it is?
Nasty, awful, skeptical cynicism because they think it might work. And it's very transparent to me that someone paid some money to create the appearance of a protest.
Wow.
And I think if you take this in the political realm, same thing. A lot of times.
Oh, no. We're no. We're gonna nope right out of that part of the conversation. Everything is a work. It's all the evil shorts.
Did you see my replies?
It can't. Well, first of all, we do know that X is what, like 70% bots. So much for fighting the bots there, Elon.
Yeah,
or die trying. It's gotten worse somehow since he took over. But that aside, like the idea, like MicroStrategy, there's legitimate concerns with the structure of that company. It's
well, obviously.
It's basically a crypto hustle. It's a crypto Ponzi scheme. Anyone can see that.
Fueled by MSTR shares, right? But I mean, as long as MSTR shareholders don't care about paying, so much more, right, for Bitcoin, and then also for the dividends of the preferred shares to get paid. Like, if they don't care that they're the ones paying that either, well, fuck it. I guess it'll just keep going. Right?
Yeah,
until they actually care, then whatever. I guess they can do it for a while until Bitcoin goes down. But also, him doing that is obviously helping the price of Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
he's just shuffling more money in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a literal Ponzi scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Except that none of the people actually expect a return back. So you can dilute and pull more cash in constantly, because unlike with a Ponzi scheme where, well, I guess with the preferreds, you're actually expecting some sort of return back. But like the commons aren't. So you can just bilk them for fucking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just
call it Bitcoin yield or whatever the hell.
Yeah, I know, right? Crime is legal.
It's shitco season. I don't know if you saw my latest song, but it's called Shitco Season.
The newest hit on X.
Yeah, the latest jam. Maybe we can close with that song because it's actually
newer
perfect.
meme stocks. We've got Open.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Skrelly says that he has opened a short position. We got, of course, Anthony down here jerking off in the comments at what price will you cover? It's like when the business model turns around and they generate profit of hundreds of millions of dollars. I love Martin. He has zero time. I know there are legitimate reasons why people don't like him, but he's got zero time for some of these grifting meme stock shitbags, which I appreciate. Then, of course, we've got some of the, oh my God, they're bringing the DRS shit into Open. And this is the Eric guy, the hedge fund guy that.
Okay. Yeah, he's like the cult leader.
It's like, what?
He's outside Drake's house, trying to get Drake into the stock. They have it all. They have all in this cult. They have stalking Drake.
Oh, so we already got our Kai subplot going on of stalking people.
Yeah.
Great.
But they don't call it stalking. They call it campaigning. Okay. Open army, look like an army.
Better, I guess. Whatever. Sure. Okay.
Oh boy.
Canada what? Open. Oh no. The minute it's like hashtag your stock army, it's done here. I discussed with Amy that I would potentially short Open, just not right now. There's still too much.
I did short it, and then I already covered it. Wait, did I cover it? Yeah, I think I did, because honestly, the army's too strong. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, like I said, once I see the momentum, I'll be all over this shit, because the business model sucks. It's garbage.
Yeah, I mean, Zillow tried to do it in whatever year. I forget when they started to try to do it. I think 2018 or something like that. And they failed and just ended up losing hundreds of millions of dollars. And so Zillow stopped doing it.
I can't believe that the DRS stuff is coming back. Oh, we got Eric Trump. Amazing. Oh, this is why the run up is here. You get your first couple earnings after this new chairman and figure out that it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, so not only do they want to fire 80% of the employees, but then they also want to expand all across the nation.
How?
Both of these.
How can you do both of those things?
AI. Shitco season.
Just add AI. It's like the .com
also,
bubble
can they
all
please
over
be
again.
a Bitcoin treasury too?
It's like the .com bubble all over again, except you have two bubbles going on at the same time. Like you said, it's like the .com bubble 2.0. Instead of it just being like add .com at the end of your name and you're suddenly worth billions upon billions of dollars. No, you have a Bitcoin treasury and AI. It's like there's two bubbles at the same time.
Yes, yes sir. This is all in my song.
Oh my God. Maybe we should just play it at some point. Wrap up.
Cut to shitco season.
Shitco season. You know, we can't go without talking about one of our favorite shitcos.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I read this. Holy crap. The numbers are absolutely...
You've read the article. I haven't gotten a chance to. Why don't you tell us about it?
Psychotic. Just keep scrolling. Watch. Keep scrolling because they do talk about...
I love these images. It's great.
Bollinger. Yeah. Formerly known as MULN. Okay. And let's see. So they talk about the reverse splits. Keep going though, because they're saying how this last one is going to be like totally the definite last one for sure, because of the like new rules on NASDAQ. Keep going, keep going. So it tells you if you owned, what the fuck even is that number?
We went over this last time.
That
it was higher than quadrillion.
Is that like quadrillion?
It's higher than, I believe.
Okay.
Let me see.
That's a psychotic number, but hold on, even go down even more.
Thousands, millions, billions, trillions. Yeah, let's be
Quadrillion.
Yeah.
Like if you own that many shares on May 23rd, you would have one share right now. But let's go into 2025. If you owned 625 million shares on February 17th, 2025, right there, just 7 months ago. Oh, go up a little bit, and held them, you'd be down to 1 share right now. Like,
which is practically also, the entire float at that time, like 6 times over.
It would have cost $93,750,000 if you purchased it. And now you would have 1 share left. Like, that's how much you would have lost in 7 months. Like, what? That is just insane numbers. Absolutely insane number. It just feels like, how is that legal at all?
And this last one will be another 1 for 250 reverse split. Amazing.
Yeah, the real last one. Then they'll just get booted to the OTC and they'll keep the...
Can we just like default boot them to OTC? Because like this
But then they're going to be like, no halts in the OTC. They're just going to try to keep pumping it more.
Oh my goodness. I just don't know how it keeps going and going. Like Bollinger, the artist formerly known as MULN, is the stock that just never dies. It should have died a long time ago, but somehow.
Mm-hmm. I made a meme. I never posted it, but I made a meme of like, it's like the outline of a cockroach and then it says MULN inside.
That's accurate. Accurate. Oh my goodness. So I was drawn to the attention of this 10K. So explain this.
The funniest thing about this is that this is like the amendment to the amendment of the last one. So this is the 2023 10K, which is amended from the last time it was amended.
Oh, okay.
And they still don't have 2024 yet.
This is the one with the whole, I don't know what page it's on, but the whole shareholders got MMTLP trading. Control
F MMTLP, right? Yeah, I found that in here. And I was like, wait a second. I thought it was 2 market makers that got together and started trading it illegally. Isn't that what happened? There it is. So I do wonder, like, did the SEC tell them to put this? Certain holders of the
Oh, I
shares of the
bet.
Series A preferred stock of Meta caused such shares to trade on the OTC market under the symbol MMTLP. So,
Wow.
Okay,
It
now we
has
know
to
how it's
be.
trading.
Yeah. Well, we
And it
always
wasn't
knew,
how
but
John Berta said. Weird. Who would've thought?
shock. I'm so surprised. So very surprised. Not actually. Do you know what is this John Stubbins guy and why he's important?
So I guess he's like one step up from the like Christian radio Robobo
Mhm.
Carter guy. That's it. Like he's on OWN, I guess, OAN network.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
That
okay.
tells you
There you
everything
go.
you really need to know about him.
Yeah, that's that.
I was trying to figure it out because he didn't get the numbers like he normally does with the MMTLP crowd, but it was getting circulated around. And I clicked on the dude's like link here, and I was just like, "Who the fuck is this guy? I've never heard of him before."
Yeah, I've never heard of him either until this.
Just the clown show's getting clownier. Did you see the most recent thing that hit the bankruptcy docket?
The what? What's this one?
This is Wilcott asking for sanctions against Christian, Wes Christian, though it will need to be refiled because it has the wrong case caption.
Yeah.
It would have to have the bankruptcy case caption, not the this. But yeah, basically because of all the things that had been said on the docket. I know that Jen had filed something that was I don't think it was sanctions. It
Didn't
was
Danielle
a motion
Spears
for
file something like this too?
I think so. I think all of them have in their filings at some point mentioned this. So that basically what is being said, I believe, was that they basically gave time under federal civil procedure for safe harbor to redact or remove or take back what was said. And now they want sanctions. I don't know how likely that is, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
I mean, maybe the new judge will read these things with fresh eyes.
Yeah, maybe.
Right. We'll see what
So
happens.
that was posted on the 18th. But otherwise, there hasn't been a whole lot that's been going on here.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
much
ever
it.
since the new judge, I felt like it's probably going to be a while for them to like catch up.
Right, because they've got to go through the entire docket and get up to speed on everything. So
yeah,
I think that's also why a lot of the hearings got kicked out to what was it, October, because they've got to get caught up on the entire docket all over again.
Right.
So, so did you hear about the new Taylor Swift party going on at theaters near you?
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently, according to AMC baggies, it's going to bring in billions of dollars of profit, even though the last time they did this, it was, I'm not going to say it wasn't a healthy chunk of change, but it was millions, not billions.
It's not even a concert movie, though. It's just like
a party, meetup party for the new.
Wait, can I play my music at AMC? Adam Aaron, hit me up.
Oh,
People want to hear shit for season,
totally.
okay?
Let's do that. Yeah. Excellent.
That'll Cosmo ass right there.
For sure.
I mean, that's cool. Like, I mean, he already said that he knows Taylor's parents, right? So that's cool.
Right. Yeah. Get us the hookup. Hey, look, I will meet you in Leawood. It's only an hour drive away. I can help you get in the door because clearly I'm an AMC shield, according to every AMC grifter. And I'll just get you in the door and we'll talk with Adam. You know, we'll bring in Tony to add the cherry on top. We'll get this taken care of for you, Platinum.
Sounds good.
I don't know if you know, but did you know that brokers, I have the perfect, I know I've already brought it up, but I have the perfect, it's not going to be a tweet of the week. It's going to be a letter of the week. So I'm not going to use this, but did you know that prime brokers send fraudulent statements every month.
I don't get a statement sent to me every month from anyone.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Dang, well, that sucks, I guess.
I love when a grifter says they're not a grifter, but they associate with all the other grifters, but they somehow think that they're special and different. Bonus points, giving a shout out to the redheaded Zeegeil, the redheaded goose stepper himself, Michael.
Oh boy.
This will bring us into our current update. So I love how Adam Aaron's lawyers are at the stage of zero fucks to give. Remember when we were in the lower district court and they were just like, yeah, we trust you, judge, to have a brain, unlike Nelson Willis, so we'll leave it up to your... Yeah, they're back to this except it's in the appellate court. Appellee Adam Aaron requests that the court exercise its sound discretion and deny appellate's motion for entry of final judgment filed on September 4th. The motion is yet another example of a frivolous filing from appellant, of which the court has cautioned appellant from continuing to file. Appellant exhibited similar behavior before the district court. This court noted in its June 24, 2025 opinion. The motion lacks merits and should be denied. The central issue before the court is whether appellant is entitled to a rehearing relating to the court's affirming the district court's dismissal with prejudice of all appellant's claims. Of course, continue to spurg out and file more motions onto the docket. And so we then got this second filing from Adam Aaron, its lawyers, which is basically the same thing. Appellee Adam Aaron requests the court exercise its sound discretion and deny appellant's motion to vacate September 4th order and award judgment in full for plaintiff appellees immediately or face felony obstruction of justice. The motion filed September 8th. This is a civil case, dude. What felony? We haven't even gotten to criminal contempt. Like, what? The motion is yet another example of frivolous filing, blah, blah, blah. Same as the last one, should be denied. But oh my goodness. There has to be sanctions coming next week because the deadline was the end of this week. And there hasn't been anything meaningful change here. It's just so silly. And he's getting sanctioned. There's no two ways around this. And
you think?
I 100% guarantee you he gets sanctioned.
You would think.
I would
How much?
guarantee. How much?
Or do you think they'll 2,500?
I'd say it's in that ballpark.
Can't they
sanction
it could by saying you have to have a lawyer?
They can do it where it's to file. You know what I would put as a sanction? Since you already had your judgment and everything, and because you wanted to have this whole rehearing and everything, and Adam Aaron's lawyers had to respond to you, I think that appellee's reasonable legal fees is a good sanction. So whatever fees were related to having to respond to your frivolous actions is the sanction. Have fun dealing with the high-powered lawyers that Adam Aaron hired and their fucking legal fees.
Good luck with that one. Then he just won't pay, just like MJL didn't pay.
Probably not. But you know what? Then you can compel the federal. I know this process, so you just file for aid in but basically pull him back into court and give him his financial details. And then if he denies that, you can get him with a citation for contempt, and then you get his financial information, and then you do what happened to Houston Wade. You just garnish his fucking paycheck.
They're going to take all his AMC shares.
That ain't a lot. Not anymore, at least.
Then we want them.
Yeah. So it's time for Bed Bath & Beyond issuing. Are they issuing
Why are you?
convertible debt? Or like, I don't understand the title here. Are they issuing it, or they?
It looks like they're.
So do they own Grain Chain and they're issuing convertible debt in this
I think they
subsidiary
do.
that they own?
I thought they did.
Because that's the way it sounds like. Grain Chain is
In addition to the investment, so I think they're the ones putting money into Green Chain, so they own the notes.
Okay.
Is what it looks like.
Because that's what I was confused about. It's like, are you issuing the notes? Are they issuing the notes? What's going on here?
They're issuing the notes, or Green Chain is issuing the notes, and BBBY
Has bought them.
it looks like have bought them.
3 million of them. Interesting.
Yeah.
So now we've reached the stage of the show in which we will be using Platinum's expertise, because we will be talking about GameStop. We'll also be using your expertise. Oh my goodness. To pull up this OCC filing that they compressed into one document and made it fucking unreadable.
What is this? I can't
this
see
apparently, yeah, that's my problem, is I can't read what the fuck's going on here. Let's see if it's on. Okay, he also compressed it and made it fucking unreadable too. So let me see here. GameStop, 100 GameStop Corporation GME Class A common shares, 10 GameStop Corporation worth. Oh, so this is just them explaining the whole process of the warrants. Yeah. There's nothing new here.
Nothing.
So what are they fucking spurging out about?
I mean, it's Kevin Malone. Do you think he understands this at all? Absolutely not.
No. Absolutely not. OCC will require put exercisers and call assigners to deliver the appropriate number. Duh.
Right.
But that would
Literally
be
nothing.
But that because the warrants would be because that would be part of the get on the options. Like, this is just explaining that if you have options, you were required to deliver the fucking warrants along with the shares. Like, that's
only for put exercisers and call assignees. That's it.
Yeah. So the people selling the puts and calls. No, the people buying the puts.
People who are exercising the puts and then who get assigned the calls.
On the calls.
Yeah.
So, like, whoop-de fucking do. Like, what? See, I thought this was going to be a complicated thing, and then I finally saw the marginally readable version Kevin gave us, and it's just like, what? Like, reading comprehension, a skill more people need to learn.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nothing.
Whoa! So you think he's got 20K?
Do you think he has a brokerage account? I'd be shocked if he's allowed to have one after his felony.
I'm sure he's allowed to have one, but like,
did you see what the charges were though? So I'm not sure.
Money laundering, yeah.
Through a brokerage account.
I didn't know that part. Whoops.
Yes, sir.
If he does, it's probably heavily supervised.
Or maybe it's through someone else. Maybe it's his mom's.
Maybe.
Sick mom. Okay. Good for him, I guess. Congrats.
Mm-hmm. I doubt he has anywhere near 20K.
I hope he waits until after everyone gets them and then buys them.
Yeah.
I don't plan to. Okay, like this guy, like whatever. Anyways, go ahead.
So we have Fidelity called me back 6 times. That
called me
said
6
that,
times.
Oh yeah,
Back to back.
Oh yeah, I have most of my shares DRS, but I do have some sitting in Fidelity. They're only shares I have with them, and I have no idea why they would need to contact me. I'm still working, and I don't have time to go through the prompts to check to see what they need, but yet. But I feel it's funny because all the upcoming warrants. Why else would they be calling me? DRS your shares, boys and girls. do you know what's behind slide number 2? What is the
Well-
Fidelity number that's calling them?
No, but also like I've never seen. But isn't like the arrow out 2 calls out and then arrow in 1 call in?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know what that number is, but I was just gonna look it up right now. A 401k.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were just calling you about your investments, bro.
Is this number legit? I received a letter. This is on Fidelity Investments, which if you post in Fidelity Investments on Reddit, like you'll actually get somebody that works at Fidelity answering you. I received a letter in the mail saying that I have an outstanding check from an old employer. They said to call the number 800-835-5097. Is this number or a scam? Have anyone else received this type of letter? And they say this is a legit number for Fidelity Net Benefits.
Mm-hmm.
We can confirm that both numbers are correct. The number ending in 5097 helps participants get connected with a representative aligned with their employer's plan. The one ending in 5095 is our general service line for workplace investing accounts. There's your answer.
Yeah.
Looks like you have a 401k with your employer, so that's good.
Yeah. So we have gotten through the GameStop stuff. Now, since we have been talking about GameStop, it wouldn't be talking about GameStop without this one's kind of funny.
All right,
Without the
this is
least
for
popular
subreddit-
twin.
We get stuck with him constantly. Maybe if we we start doing a sports show, maybe we can get the more popular twin.
All right, so this is for the subreddit Jamie Meltdown. I never make videos about you guys.
Bull fucking shit! You can't ever get our name out of your mouth. Shut up. You lying piece of shit.
But here's one. And this is blatant manipulation of stock markets and trying to manipulate individuals and how they invest. So I've been talking to GameStop.
I didn't realize pointing and laughing at people is like manipulating their ability to invest in stocks. Last I checked, if you don't like anything posted on Meltdown, there's this funny little thing. You can go up to the upper corner where the like little Reddit symbol is, and you can click on that. It takes you back to your homepage and out of our subreddit.
You can even block it. Like you can literally block a subreddit from ever showing up on your feed.
Yep.
Right? Jamie Meltdown. I've been talking GameStop for 4.5 years. And I'm the only content creator you guys attack personally.
No, absolutely not. I've clapped at plenty other GameStop grifters. And oh, by the way, plenty of other just grifters in general. Along with the subreddit. Like, I don't like.
You guys talk about my personal life.
Because you talk about it all the time. Like we had this discussion last week. You talk openly on the internet about your personal life all the time and then wonder why people talk about it. I don't know. Like, you don't get to run a Jerry Springer show on your YouTube channel and then complain when people take up seats in the audience and point and laugh at the clown.
Stop being so funny.
Stop talking about your personal life on the internet.
Yeah, like that stuff was just like too crazy. I mean,
oh, it gets crazier. We'll get to that.
Try to discredit me as a person.
Actually, your brother did a pretty good job of that one on his own.
Yes.
As far as how I'm bullish on GameStop, I'm absolutely bullish, just like anybody else would be if they understood the fundamentals and the valuation given to GameStop. Multiple content creators have come on for all the years. You guys never attack them?
No. I mean, you've had Pulte on, and I've ripped him a new asshole thrice over on this channel. So again, like this dude, how many lies? And we're only 30 seconds in. This dude cannot go a single 10-second span without fucking lying. It's just, I wonder why people dislike him so much. I can't fathom it.
You guys only attack me personally. but it's not going to work because GameStop's still going to be amazing. However you guys feel about me, I mean, it's not going to change my day. But
and yet here you are making a 1.5-minute video about how it changes your day.
What is going to change your day is that I know that you guys are paid shills and it's manipulated.
Paid shills.
Still waiting on that paycheck from Dan, from fucking Kenny.
Check out my song before Shitco season. It's called Shields. I think you'll really like that one, Moritz.
Check this out. You guys now only have 20,000 members. You guys used to have 33,000, 34,000. How did you guys lose 14,000 people?
So many people not understanding a Reddit update. Like, do you know about the Reddit update that happened recently?
No, explain.
Oh my god. Okay, so like, I've seen so many.
I'll put you up here so you can explain.
No, don't do that. It's like so annoying. Nah, don't put me up close though. Okay, thank you, because you can see it there. So Reddit made an update, and rather than showing the number of members that are on the subreddit, they show the amount of members that have like interacted in the last, like, I think week or 2 weeks or something up there. So you saw like so many people being like,
there were people bitching about. I remember specifically
members, and now they only have 200,000. They lost 800,000. Blah 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 blah.
I remember specifically there were a bunch of one, because I saw other like meme stock subreddits bitching about it, and they were getting reposted on the Meltdown. Like Super Stonk was one of them where people were complaining about where did all the members go.
Yeah, and it takes like 5 seconds to just figure that out. Like, okay, the members are still there, but it just shows it differently because Reddit updated. Like, of course, MULN had this big conspiracy post about it, and fucking so many other people about like,
of course he did.
All the people they banned in one day. It's like, oh my god, just so stupid. So that's the.
And now you have.
Okay, so he's just an idiot again. Got it.
2.7K people spreading FUD. You used to only have like 20, and we're talking like a month ago. So either Canada started hiring more FUD spreaders, or you guys been fake the whole time, which I truly believe, because that's how I believe.
What is this massive hate boner for Canada? I don't.
Right? Do I have to live in Canada to get paid? To spread FUD?
Yes. You want to meet up in Toronto? I hear it's really good there.
Sure, let's go.
Leave Reddit. So. Yeah, I stay away from Reddit. I think everyone else should.
You've literally been caught multiple times on a live stream with fucking Meltdown in your fucking
it's his
feed.
Background in this video, and he's like, I stay away from Reddit.
and fucking you fucking posted on GME Meltdown on GameStop earnings days bragging about how the stock's gonna rocket right before it fucking crashes and burns like a fucking SpaceX.
The last earnings, or
not last earnings, but like I think it was more towards like the beginning of the year and also into last year, where he would like post before earnings and then immediately get laughed out of the room when earnings didn't deliver. Hasn't been the most recent one.
Hey, we've had 5 quarters of profits. Okay, positive earnings. So take that one.
I'll give you that. And operationally profitable this quarter.
Exactly.
Two, I just want to make this clear. This is blatant manipulation of the stock market, these kids. And just always trying to put, the divide out there, trying to put a negative connotation on, what retail investors are and what they're so good. I mean, what are you guys so good about? Like, what are you guys so mad about? Why are you guys pissed off that we invest?
Why do you assume we're mad about anything?
What does that matter for you?
You're just a funny little goofball on the internet that everyone likes to laugh at. Like I don't follow. As I was telling you from at the beginning during the green room, he is now in a. Oh, that's scary. Don't look at me like that. That's real creepy. Can you not? I originally didn't get the point of this screenshot. I just saw Candace, and I didn't think too hard about that until I looked at my 4K video downloader, where he basically went on a who done it with who killed Charlie Kirk and had @tagged Candace Owens. Like, so he's trying to cash in his whole fucking meme stock.
I mean, he should have been nicer to Ann Carroll. Like, if he
And
wants
then he could have.
Candace Owens.
Then
Like,
he
he
could have
literally
gotten in
hosted
with
her
all the
show while he had a
QAnon
baby.
grifters, yeah.
Exactly, and he was.
But now
super
he's
rude
trying to
Ann Carroll.
be. It's gotten worse. The worse his life has gotten. And you can see the hole there that he mentioned previously in his fucking roof.
What is that?
That's the hole that they
From what?
patched up.
Like
you
a
not
flood or
remember?
something you said?
Yeah, like the AC or something on his roof broke down and flooded through his roof or something.
My.
Yeah. So he's really gotten aboard the crazy train now.
No, I plan to keep this a secret until I died. But now it's been a couple hours. I guess I'll tell you, and my motives for doing what I do. And I'll tell you what I've been wearing. I'll also tell you when I'll be home. Maybe. I'm not going to tell you that I ate at the Dairy Queen. I'm not going to tell you where I went to the bathroom. But I will tell you that I changed a couple times, where I left my weapon, incriminated myself in print, so you can use these words against me in the court of law. I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to call you and tell you in person, though. Lastly, I think we should talk like we're in a Shakespearean love tale. Because to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler the mind to...
I don't blame you either. I avoid them like the fucking plague too. Like, I haven't watched any of them.
Oh, I mean, I haven't watched any, but yes, of course, he's blaming private equity. Like, let's be real. Is it not private equity's fault that his roof caved in?
Always. Moran stubs his
Why?
toe. Private equity
Like,
did it.
why is that even the background if he's not talking about it? Like, what is happening here?
He thinks that since he's talking about Charlie Kirk, he's going to get suicided accidentally on purpose. So he's leaving his whole "I didn't kill myself" video. If you weren't catching on, I didn't do any of these things that they accused me of. I didn't commit suicide. That.
No, it sounds like he's talking about the text messages that Tyler dude, supposedly sent or whatever.
Okay.
Did you read the messages that he sent?
Yes.
No.
I guess, my love, you don't have to suffer
Oh God. Yeah, they were. Stupid.
So that's what this is all about.
for any longer. Don't talk to police.
Sounds-
Keep it out of there. And no, I wasn't affiliated with any online hate groups or messaging boards or discords, and I didn't follow.
So, okay. Glad we caught up with that. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without normal just Morantz is a shithead.
So Olivia Juliana is threatening to go on a hunger strike until USID is restored.
You get the joke. She's fat. You get the joke. Did you
Got it.
get the joke? Did you get it?
Got it. Good one. Dum.
So some of the other stuff was basically him melting down and basically trying to dox the guy who took the sweepy photo. Yes, this is Costco security camera footage that he's just
this is kind of
posted on
funny.
the web. And
Good. Honestly, fuck
Manuel, like I sat down with this footage and I cropped it. So
hopefully
that
it really
way-
is that guy though. You know what I mean? What if it's not?
He assumes the guy is, but also his original footage had like other people, the guy's daughters, just like hanging out there.
Yikes. Okay, that's
So
a
yeah,
little weird.
we cropped it here, so it was just dude and Morantz rather than just But
Yeah.
Morantz doesn't give shit about things like that. And him having his mopey thing about that. We also get how his wife thinks about the current situation. No,
Wait,
it's
is
not
she
a father.
Still his wife?
As far as at the time of this video,
Very rare on social media to find. Yeah, I'm
gonna talk.
No,
to him
I
about
didn't
that
take
in
a sabbatical. I took a whole new direction in life, man. Whole new direction in life, and it was like August 9th or something like that. August 9th, I went to my wife and I said, "Hey, baby." No, I told my wife, I said, "Hey, babe, I think I'm just gonna do YouTube full time." And she said, "Oh God." And so my wife said, "Oh God."
I mean, I'd have the same reaction too. Like,
oh my God, if my husband ever said that, I would be like, fuck no.
well, and like it's hard even for people who have as much, like, they're like, for instance, the channel that, like, some of the channels I watch, they have like millions of subscribers. Like, they still have sponsors and things like that.
I was gonna say they still have sponsorships because you can't make that much from YouTube alone.
Right.
And I told her how she made me feel about it. I said, you know, honey, you make me feel like I'm never gonna, like I can't do this, or that I shouldn't do this. And she goes, that's not what I meant. Because I'm just be real with you. My wife said to me, she said, Marantz, she said, this is not forever. She said, YouTube and GameStop is not forever.
Good advice.
But she said it in a way. See, I didn't understand how she said it. And that moment, I was hurt. I was like, what? You don't think I could do? You don't think I'm good enough? You don't think I'm this? Like, that's how my mind works. I felt like a little boy. Not like the father, not like the man, not like the leader. I felt like, bro, you don't believe in GameStop? You don't believe in me? You don't believe what I'm doing? She goes, no, I totally believe in you. And I believe in what you're doing. She said, but, oh, and thank you, Rick James, for the 5 free memberships. She said, but it has nothing to do with that. She said, what was before YouTube? And I said, MySpace?
Oh my God.
She goes, okay, what was before that? Yahoo chat channels? What was before that? I said, I don't know, nothing. She goes, okay, something's changing as the years go on. She goes, so what happens when YouTube's gone? I said, well, when YouTube's gone or changes, I have to be willing to adapt and change with it.
I feel like
Oh,
there
okay.
was some lost in translation there. This is the final one that I know of from our timeline. And you mentioned still wife. Yeah, well, there might be some. We'll see here.
That was a phone call I've been waiting for. And I have to process the info. To answer the question about your 401k and whether or not you should use it in a... I don't know if it was good, Johnny. I don't know if it was good.
I mean, this is like too sad.
But God will.
What is happening? I feel like this is like sad.
Yeah, that's the thing here is like it got clipped right after the phone call. So I don't know. And I'm not really interested in finding out, but it sure sounds like you got a phone call. Either it was about job or something else personal, and it was not as expected.
Not so good. I mean, that sucks. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, we make fun and blow, like, laugh, whatever, but like, I don't want to actually see anything bad happen. You know what I mean? Like, that sucks.
Yeah. So, like, that's where things are right now.
Well, hopefully things get better.
Yeah.
So we can like laugh more because it's kind of depressing.
But to round us all out here, Marantz's transition into the like QAnon-y griftathon, like that's kind of been like the it's kind of been a theme here. Like, bam, you go through his feed and like how much of this is actually him talking about stocks? Because I don't see a lot here that's stocks. It's mostly just like conservative grift culture on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, and Charlie Kirk. So,
yeah. Like,
and there's finally for a tag about UVXY. Then, of course, we've got the most recent video from Number One Cuck, where I'm not going to waste your time with this 5-minute nonsense screed, but basically he goes on talking about how he's gotten death threats, which he never has gotten. He just calls them death threats and suggests that because he's gotten death threats and Charlie Kirk's died recently, they're coming for him next. Sure. Like anyone gives a shit about you other than me, and it's only to point and laugh. Then of course we've got PPC stop is his, road to Damascus. I'm a good boy Christian now moment. And of course that we must rise up and fight the hedgies, and that he now is an expert on monetary policy. And that expertise
Oh,
is
this is
parroting
so
what
funny,
Pulte says.
actually,
Mhm.
is how he's saying that we needed more than just 25. We are seeing record high inflation rates.
I know, right? That's what's hilarious.
Like-
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to switch that just yet. That's what's hilarious about this. It's like,
What?
if there's record high inflation, then the rate should go up. Like, do you not?
Yeah.
Like, what?
He's like, well, whatever Plute says, I say. And Plute's like, whatever Trump says, I say.
I know. Like we were talking about earlier. It's like the human centipede of Trump, then Pulte, then like PP and fish sticks, and just like,
yep.
Not an independent thought in anybody's head in that entire chain.
Nope. Too little, too late. Anyways.
Whatever. But it makes for a nice transition to our more mainstream stuff. Last time we left off, we did mention the whole Korean Hyundai LG thing. This thread's an interesting one because it goes over someone who actually was apprehended and their entire experience. The way they make it sound like this was someone upper the chain basically told middle management that it's basically the ICE version of like those DEA like drug busts. Like, we're going to do a flashy thing that we can put on the camera. Like, the higher ups had no clue. They just sent their mid shift minions to go carry this out and had no clue what they were doing. And that's why you got the entire situation you did. Like, people in Kristi Noem's office told them to go raid this place, and they did the thing. And then afterwards, everyone was like, oh, whoops. Which you could tell by the administration's responses afterwards. Like what do you call? They're called truths, right? I hate immediately calling a post a truth because that assumes that anyway. Basically saying that
that's by design, obviously. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's the only way it can be called.
But anyways, basically, it makes it sound like the president is finally realizing that, immigration is good, that, immigrants coming here to do things, that's a good thing. We call this in the business foreshadowing. Then we had Scott Bessent, one of the pseudo adults in the room, I guess, come on and talk about it. Oh, come on. I guess X decides it just doesn't want to fucking work anymore. That's nice. We'll skip ahead.
No, it's your internet right now. It's garbage.
No, it's definitely X because the next video works just fine.
Oh, never mind. All right, let's blame Twitter.
Yeah.
Fuck Elon.
So, of course, right after all of that, we thought lessons were learned. But now, if you want an H-1B visa application, pay me $100,000. Oh my.
Yeah. So when I saw that, in before certain companies who have dinner with Trump get exempt from this.
Oh, we'll get to that. All right.
Oh, is that already a thing?
System has been the H-1B non-immigrant visa program. This is supposed to allow highly skilled laborers.
Oh, this is the gold card thing. Okay. It all makes sense.
Yeah, it goes together.
That Americans don't work in to come into the United States of America. What this proclamation will do is raise the fee that companies pay to sponsor H-1B applicants to $100,000. This will ensure that the people they're bringing in are actually very highly skilled and that they're not replaceable by American workers. So it'll protect American workers, but ensure that...
No, it'll just make it more expensive to do business in America, you twat. Anyway, you were mentioning about that whole buying your way out.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I didn't even see that or know that was a thing. I
Mhm.
literally just was like,
It's right there in the executive order.
shitco season.
Like,
Here we are.
saying the quiet part out loud. Amazing.
That's crazy.
But you know what? Speaking of which, this is probably a good time to talk about them tariffs and how they've been harming the American farmers, probably fathers too.
Yeah,
we'll cut off your leg and then give you a crutch and then say, man, where would you be if we weren't here to give you the
yeah,
crutch?
you're welcome. Why aren't you saying thank you?
So we're going to be taking. It took a second for that to click. But 16 billion out of the tariff fund to give back to farmers for fucking them over with their tariffs.
Wow, cool.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
So remember those Doge fork in the road? We'll give you cash to bounce out of the Labor Department. Well,
Yeah, so I heard they actually
hired them back.
Took all that cash, right? And they were able to keep all the cash, take the time off, and now come back.
Yeah. So
Great deal.
just to let you know how Doge is going and how it's making the government more efficient. Amazing.
Good job.
But the war on statistics has not ended. Since we got rid of remember when they fired the Bureau of Labor Statistics person for being too air quotes
because the
woke
jobs
or
aren't good
whatever their
enough.
excuse was.
Yeah.
Funny, where do you think that spike in the chart was?
What do you mean?
Like the data's gotten more inaccurate since it doesn't help that the chart here is very ambiguous as to what date this is between October and now, but it sure seems like the data got more inaccurate once Trump came into office. This is so great. Let's even throw Fox News under the bus.
But we're going to have numbers that like nobody's ever seen before,
When do you think
including
that
jobs.
people are going to feel that? Because we do see polling that doesn't poll well in the economy. The recent Fox polling said 52% say the economy is worse under this administration. We've got unemployment at the highest rate in 4 years. Groceries made a big jump in the last term. So how is that? You're looking forward with these plans that you just talked about. When will people feel that, Mr.
Well,
Trump,
when the
President
factories
Trump?
start opening. I mean, right now we're building them, and you know, Fox polling. I have to tell you, I've told you before, it's the worst polling I've ever had. It's always.
Any polling that doesn't make him look good is the worst polling ever. Case in point, Trump administration cancels annual hunger survey. Can't have poverty and hunger if we don't survey for it, right, guys? If a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to notice it fell over, if there's a kid that dies in an alley from hunger and no one was there to survey it, did they really die of hunger? So let's see here. What was the next one on our list? Oh, yeah. So this was the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
Key labor data is being postponed. Oh, they paywalled it. Oh, well. So Bureau of Labor Statistics data that we're talking about,
I mean, that's really it.
So that would be basically the jobs reports and inflation numbers. Amazing. This one was the one for financial markets that was the doozy from last week. I mean, from this week.
Oh my God, yes. See more about shitco season right here. Like
financial statements, never heard of her.
Yeah. Who needs that?
10K, 10Qs, bah. Quarterly reports.
Yeah.
Nah, how about every 6 months, just like foreign companies?
Yeah, China. Like as if that's what we should be like,
Now,
really.
a lot of people in the finance community have been talking a lot of smack on this, including the All In podcast people, which like, oh my God, what? That was a shocker to me. But you want to know who is supporting this measure and thinks it's a great idea?
Let me guess, Michael Saylor.
I mean, close enough. It's Crypto Bros.
Here we go.
Mean, who could have guessed? Who could have guessed?
Trevor Milton.
So we talked
Sam
about
Bankman-Fried.
I talked about this on the last extra. This lawsuit, absolute shit and trash. The order that came down, not surprised at all. We've talked about Rule 8 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and how you're required to make a concise statement of the facts, a short and plain statement, as I believe it is in the actual rule. We've had to run into this rule a lot because we've had a lot of meme stock people who don't understand it and create, 100-page odysseys about how they've been wronged, and courts regularly end up rejecting those. To state for the record, the record on this is Clown from Boston's 2,000-page. I think it was 3,000 pages if you throw in the exhibits complaint, which was rejected for that reason. This is nowhere near that. It was an 80-page document, and even the court found that it was too long. This part, I think, was it. A complaint is a mechanism to fairly, precisely, directly, soberly, and economically inform the defendants in a professional, constrained manner consistent with dignity of the adversarial process of the nature of the claims. A complaint is a short, plain, direct statement of alleged facts sufficient to create a factually plausible claim for which relief sufficient to formulate a informed response. Oh, here it was up here. A complaint is not a megaphone for public relations or a podium for a passionate oratory at a public rally or a functional equivalent of the Hyde Park Speaker's Corner.
Dang.
So he was told you need to turn your 80-page, cut it from 80 down to 40 pages, and then refile it. Basically, the federal court judge gave Trump's lawyers an F, told them to redo the assignment and submit it later. Teacher was not impressed, and with good reason, because we had gems like this where the lawyers apparently didn't know what the actual malice standard was as professional lawyers. I'm just baffled. If you want more on that, I had
the funniest thing I think is the last sentence. Put bluntly, defendants baselessly hate President Trump in a deranged way.
It's not actual malice. That's not what that means. They took the literal dictionary definition of malice instead of the legal definition of what actual malice is. What I thought was the most comical one was, I shit you not, there are 3.5 pages dedicated to listing off all of his accolades for no particular fucking reason. Like this one here, all of his media appearances. Now, normally you would if you're explaining the parties, say I was introducing Platinum Sparkles, I wouldn't give a long listicle like this of all the things that she has ever done. I would say she has done live streams and maybe list the one or two of the prominent ones, or just say that she's been on live streams and list the title name of them. But this is just masturbatory.
Wow, starting from 1989.
Yeah.
Jesus.
This is all self-masturbatory. Jizzing onto
He should have just stayed in entertainment and left all the other shit alone. My God.
Yeah. We unfortunately did not get sanctions yet, but here's hoping. Oh yeah, this was the fun one that I wished Amy was here for. as Nvidia
Oh my God.
bought into
Did you
Intel.
see what the White House posted? Or I'm sorry, did you see what I think it was like who was it? I forget, like somebody from the Fed or whatever. Like posted a meme after this.
No,
with Trump
it was
sitting
my least hated member of the Trump administration after Bill Pulte.
Oh God, yes. That's the one. With Intel on his screen.
Yeah.
Like shitco season, my friend.
I didn't even see this. Oh my God. Amazing. But like the administration directly after was trying to say, we had no idea and we did not pressure Nvidia into buying into Intel. And then this post happens.
No one believes that.
Like not only Howard Lutnick,
Yeah.
but this is
Nobody
original
believes
Donald
that.
Trump tweet from Truth Social. Like,
Yeah.
please. I don't buy any of your fucking horse shit.
Well, at least, now you know, like, whatever they buy next.
You better get in on
make
it.
sure you buy it because they're going to make sure it goes up.
Though this does lead to a moment where we do get an adult in the room.
State ownership of business is very common in China.
This is passive, but this is passive.
In Russia.
Yeah.
Taking a
Is that a no?
percentage of the sales of Nvidia,
of Nvidia,
a percentage of the stock.
You don't like any of it.
Intel is inconsistent with free market principles, and I think it's taken
Agreed.
our country to a very perilous place, and I think we need to resist that very strongly. The Constitution is clear. We have a takings clause. There has to be just compensation. There was nothing in the CHIPS Act that required a percentage of sales. I really do believe that what's happening with tariffs, what's happening with state ownership of business represents a departure from the free market principles that have been at the heart of the Republican Party. And for the sake of our long-term prosperity, we need to get back to those principles.
I mean,
the state ownership of business.
Shit. Can we get more people like that? Like more Republicans standing up and saying, that be bullshit.
Yeah. No, because they'll be fired.
Oh, yeah. Or, get the whole social media bandwagon of hate.
Well, yeah, that too. But like literally fired
Mike
too.
Pence says the wonderful thing of he can't be fired. He doesn't work in government anymore.
True. Yeah. Doesn't have like a late night show or anything like that.
Speaking of which, that's another thing. It's like that was another thing that like Marantz did a video on shortly before we went on the air, where it popped up in my 4K video feed. I was looking on it. It was like where he was trying to say that wasn't that the FCC did not pressure them to take him down, and it's like they literally did. And also, what was it? One of the I know I should know the company that's one of the distributors. It's not Spectrum. It's Sinclair. Yes, Sinclair Broadcasting basically sent a letter to ABC and the FCC suggesting that the FCC should continue to pressure ABC until it complies with the dear leader.
Yeah. Not good. Anyway.
I didn't pay too much attention to this TikTok deal, but apparently that basically gave them everything they wanted. So TikTok will remain TikTok. And so much for banning TikTok from the US. And didn't even ask for anything for that. But, like he'd been doing with all the American companies that he can, bully. We also got this just dropped like right before we went on the air. So Tom Human was under FBI investigation because leading into the Trump presidency, he's the White House border czar right now, but he accepted $50,000 in cash after indicating he would help the agents who were posing as business executives win government contracts in the second Trump administration.
Wow.
And of course he got cut loose. Of course he did. Because, crime is legal. especially if you work for Donald Trump, then it's extra legal. But that gets us out of the realms of the government for now. I'm not going to play this whole video or any of it really. I just want to point it out here that, as Linus pointed out in their live stream, that Tesla is doing away with FSD because they've gotten so many lawsuits about it now. They're not going to promise that it's self-driving or anything like that, that it'll always be level 2. They're not going to do anything with it. That's been going in advertising. They've been settling lawsuits, mainly because you get stuff like this.
Oh dear.
Like you could see the like contrail kick up here. Like it'd be like even if you're a human, it'd probably be too late. But you would think like by now you should be decelerating. But yeah. The car slowed from some 68, 65 miles an hour, not even AEB triggered. This was a Model 3 with no radar or LiDAR. It was just the cameras, which would explain why it had not a clue. Because even if you're using it with the naked eye, like maybe like right here, but that would probably be still too late because like here.
Yeah, but like all the other cars are, I mean, you know, if you were actually paying attention, I don't know. I feel like you could, I don't know what's going on, but it looks like there's like something going on where all the other cars are stopped on the other lane.
Or you can see like the contrail like kick up because it's obviously raining. And you like this should tell you you're coming up on something.
Yeah.
And then of course, yeah, there was something. Yeah, so Tesla's estate says that it is level 2. To the extent full self-driving refers to SAE level 4 or 5, as alleged in paragraph 30 of the FAC, Tesla admits that as of the date of this answer, Tesla's ADAS technology has not reached that level. No.
Well, yeah.
It hasn't.
Obviously.
Now, we've been noticing that, you know, Tesla's revenue and cash inflows have been dropping. To keep the hype going, Musk says not to worry because 80% of the value will come from Optimus. We sure about that, bro? Because it sure seems like you're losing a lot of your staff that's working on the project for that. So doesn't seem like that's going down. Of course, we've got Elon doubling down on being a psychopath while this is all going on.
Violence is going to come to you. You will have no choice. You're in a fundamental situation here where whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. You either fight back or you die.
Awesome. Just what we need right now.
Okay.
Amazing. He said a lot more than that because there's a whole 3-minute clip, if I remember correctly. But yeah, not really feeling it. That kind of encapsulates it at its purest form. We also have executives at XAI, which also owns X, departing. The article goes into the financials of XAI being hella shaky. If you do recall from last stream, he was talking. There is a current for the next shareholders meeting initiative to basically have Tesla be able to invest in XAI, and the board of directors has advised against it for these reasons. So who knows? Grok and the shithole known as X may be circling the drain into a black hole shortly. Who knows? Or it'll just be yet another Ponzi in the Elon Musk shell game that is Tesla, X, SpaceX and all of his other things, the neural network stuff. Or, it could just happen that he just, asked shareholders to buy it out like he did with Solar City. Buy out of this mistake and we'll incorporate it into Tesla, and I'll get to use it as yet another thing to use to scam investors with. Who knows? Who knows? This last thing to wrap up on before we get to stupid tweet of the week. Did you happen to see this lawsuit? This is a pretty interesting one. So when I heard Penske, I was thinking the truck company, that does all the I work in trucking. So I know Penske, they work on the trucks and they, sometimes give us rental trucks and things like that. But apparently this is like Penske Media Corporation, which runs a bunch of different media companies. You can see them all here, like Artforum, Billboard, Deadline, Hollywood, Fairchild Publishing, all of these companies here. So basically what they're accusing Google of is, how the AI...
Is it because of the AI? And because did they have sponsored ads or something?
No. So what's happening?
People aren't clicking on the sponsored ads.
No.
Okay.
So what's happening is, that's not the one I wanted. It's the complaint. Yes, here. So if you read the complaint here, and I'm not going to go all the way into it, but basically what they're accusing them of is, so you have the new Google AI, and so they have a partnership with Google, because of the search engine. And that way Google can see the content that is on their, websites, even if it's, behind a paywall, so they can properly search. Like if I search for something, they can see what's on the article, and to expedite searching. And it's a partnership. So that way the search works and it drives content to their website so that they can make money from ads and things like that. It's part of
that's what I was saying.
It's part of being in the the cohabitation of Google, not just the ad program, but like the search engine stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm.
However, because Google has access to their articles, what they're complaining about is that they're using that to generate results for their AI. And if you want to be part of the search, the Google search stuff, it requires that you have the ability for them to be able to search your documents to give a more effective search. So they're making an antitrust claim based around the fact that it's a compelled interaction that is to their detriment, because instead of customers being able to, like you said, go to the site for the ads or pay for their subscription model or whatever, they can just use Google's AI service and get all that content and it's being stolen from them more or less, and they don't see any reimbursement for it. So they're claiming antitrust.
I mean,
which is a clever way to deal with the AI issue, because there's been a lot of...
It's valid, in my opinion, right? Like their complaint is valid, I think.
Yeah. And that I'll do an extra where we go a little bit more in depth and read through the complaint. But I thought it was really interesting because that's a way I've not seen anyone really talk about the whole AI situation. A lot of people have been dealing with it as a copyright issue for sourcing the data for the AI and things like that. But I haven't seen someone go about it in an antitrust, though this is a unique situation where it is actually applicable, because you're basically being compelled into a contract because Google is the search engine. Who uses Bing? Show of hands.
Yeah.
And if you want to use that search engine, you have to sign up for it, which under the terms of service means that they get to basically scrape your website for their AI bot. So it's highly predatory. So I guess we are ready for stupid tweet of the week. I'm going to get mine pulled up and then get everything set up here. Do you happen to have a stupid tweet of the week?
I don't think I had one saved this week at all. Hold on, let me look.
If you do, if you don't, we can just ogle over mine because it's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Okay,
But I do have the Shitco season song that I can share
that'll work.
So
we'll just default to me, I guess. So remember when I talked about that preliminary that someone was wanting to do the intervener? That was going to be my stupid. It's a stupid letter of the week, actually.
Oh my god! Oh, is this the president guy? Oh, this is amazing.
I, Joshua Hall, bring forth the following motion to intervene. Okay, we need to explain why this is silly and dumb. A motion to intervene is you have to have some sort of property interest that's in danger that is not, let's make it clear, not represented by either of the parties. And you can intervene as of right or there's permissive intervening. If you don't have a direct property interest in effect, then you can intervene as of a permissive intervener, which is, I assume, what they're going to go with here, but hard to tell. We can tell several ways it's going to fail because he's already represented by both by the government acting on its behalf. But let's continue. In this district, to disqualify Judge Gina Cobb. Okay, so this is another one that's attempting to get Gina Cobb recused. I am an interested party in the matter on behalf of President Donald Trump. Well, if you're on behalf of him, then you can't intervene because Donald Trump's already... Anyway, as an American citizen who voted for and supports President Trump, I guess he wasn't incarcerated till after the November election, I guess. I'm an interested party who is directly affected by the outcome of this case. I suffer irreparable harm when the president is illegally enjoined from exercising his lawful authority and implementing the agenda that I elected him to enact. This agenda includes removing government bureaucrats who nobody elected.
Oh my God.
Like members of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, including Lisa Cook, for cause which President Trump has the total authority to do under Article 2 of the United States Constitution. Wow, that is quite the lengthy sentence. Yeah. Former member Cook, well, not a former member yet. She's still doing her thing. Was found to have committed mortgage fraud. Incorrect. Accused of.
Someone should make a parody account of this guy and just post it and post this letter under all of Pulte's tweets, being like, I agree with you 100%.
Oh my goodness.
This is whatever his name is from whatever prison.
Oh my goodness. The citizenry, myself included, who elected President Trump to enact our agenda, have an interest in having corrupt political officials removed from government. Well, why don't you start with the guy you elected? Anyway, we have a right to not, turn page, be governed by individuals who commit federal crimes. Again, still hasn't been proven yet. We elected President Trump to appoint his picks to serve in these government positions and have a right to be free from these Biden holdovers. Undermining the people's agenda without our consent and no means of accountability. Well, I hate to tell you something, but I've got a list of things that enjoins the people's agenda and protects individual liberties. It's called the Constitution. Maybe fucking read it sometime. Specifically the Bill of Rights. Also, I have an interest in this case as a Republican candidate. Oh, what? I forgot about this. As a Republican candidate for Congress in Pennsylvania's 10th congressional district, from prison? From prison?
What's happening? Well, that's a great bio right there.
Oh, yeah.
He just
The
needs to add
voters.
MMTLP into this letter. He can do numbers,
Or he
serious
could be
numbers.
or he could be like Corey. Once you dox people, then you can run for Indiana State. The agenda is undermined by unelected bureaucrats and federal judges who enabled this egregious infringement upon the lawful authority and duty of the president. We failed to deliver to our constituents the promise to enact their agenda by no fault of our own and suffer electoral. I don't think that's an injury that actually exists in law, but okay, electoral injury to our campaigns for office is no. What? As a result, this is illegal infringement upon and judicial overreach against a co-equal branch of government and is without precedent in the 249-year history of our great country. Yeah, sure. I've got one for you that's better. Do you know about this one, Platinum, from Andrew Jackson, when the Supreme Court told him not to do the whole Trail of Tears thing? And he said, the Supreme Court has made their decision. Now let them enforce it. Yeah, sure. Okay. Do tell us more about that 249-year history of whatever.
Of our great country.
It has become an all too common pattern and constitutes weaponization of our nation's judiciary against the American people, that they enforce the laws that, never mind. That is why I move on behalf of myself as an injured party, the voters who elected Donald Trump in an overwhelming landslide, citation needed, and President Trump himself to intervene in the above caption case. This case is about preserving, protecting, and defending our democracy and the people's right to govern. I think he was going with govern there ourselves, rather than being ruled over by unelected judges and radical left bureaucrats against our will. Next page. I also respectfully move to disqualify Judge Gia Cobb. Well, you can't do this until you've actually been allowed to intervene. So get a little ahead of yourself there, brother. From presiding over this case, she has repeatedly displayed extreme political bias against President Trump by just ruling on the facts. Okay. The voters, including myself, who elected him and in favor of plaintiff in this matter. Well, if you're in favor of plaintiff in this matter, then your interests are already protected by a party that's already on the case. A federal judge has a duty to recuse themselves for any proceeding which their impartiality might be reasonably questioned. It's a little more complicated than that, but do continue. Judge Cobb was appointed to the bench by President Biden, the same president who appointed the plaintiff. Oh my goodness, is this really where we're going? In this case, to be a member of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Do we have any understanding of, like, if you can't even have a sitting judge rule on something from the same appointed administration, it really complicate a lot of things, especially in state level politics. Like, I don't. This is the most legible, crazy letter I've seen.
Legit. And his spelling is actually pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like,
yeah.
Spelling is beautiful.
But he's got a little bit of a problem with run-on sentences, but, we can forgive certain things. This fact itself is a conflict of interest. No. That warrants recusal. No. As it would cause any reasonable observer to question Judge Cobb's ability to be impartial in this case, where she has such a close connection to the plaintiff. No, not really. Not really that close. On the flip side, the defendant in this case is a political rival of the opponent of the president that appointed Judge Cobb to the bench. In today's hyper-partisan, politically charged environment, with allegations of political bias from the bench and left and right, And rightfully so, it is more paramount than ever that a federal judge go out of their way to completely mitigate any possible appearance of ruling in a manner that I don't approve. Oh, I'm sorry, of impartiality. Sorry, I got a little confused there. The American people deserve some semblance of integrity restored to our nation's judiciary in order to have trust in it again. Judge Cobb has respectfully proven herself to be a partisan actor time and again, citation needed, rather than a fair and impartial judge who stays within her constitutional bounds of just saying what the law is. She has never, turned page, once ruled in favor of President Trump. Ooh, yeah, oops. Repeatedly described those of us who support him as insurrectionists when she presided over the case of the January 6th defendants. Well, accurate statement. Sorry, not sorry. She has championed and repeatedly ruled in favor of far-left causes, citation needed, and activists while endlessly criticizing and attacking President Trump and anyone who happens to agree with him. Citation needed. Judges cannot claim to champion the rule of law while simultaneously bending and weaponizing it to meet political ends. The people spoke overwhelmingly when we elected President Trump. Well, here's the thing. The judiciary doesn't care about elections. They just care about the law, which was already ruled on. So you don't like the law? Well, you control Congress, you control the presidency, and just change the law. Seems like the way to go about that. And then the judge will be forced to rule on the law. I don't know. He must be allowed to carry out his constitutional powers and responsibilities, lest the presidency become obsolete. Presidency already has a bunch of power, so if we chipped at it a little bit, I wouldn't be too disappointed. I'm not attacking Judge Cobb's... Sure. I'm not attacking Judge Cobb's character. Cool story, bro. I am sure she's a good-natured person who believes that what she stands for is right. But her close ties to Biden and the Democratic Party go well beyond the bar and more than meet the burden of causing her impartiality to be called into question with respect to her presiding over this very important case. For the reasons she has a solemn duty to, in fact, must recuse herself from this matter, and I therefore move to disqualify Judge Gia Cobb from presiding over this case. And I further respectfully request a hearing on this matter and reserve my right to appeal any adverse ruling. Well, if you're an intervener, I don't think you can appeal that one.
So, Pennsylvania man sentenced to prison for threatening to kill United States congressman and perpetrating online fraud scheme.
Wait. So you've done the research. You want to screen? Oh my goodness!
Just look it up. Joshua Hall, Pennsylvania. If it's the same one, 20 months. Oh, maybe it's not the same one. Who knows? But it says that he was fraudulently raising funds for a fictitious political organization.
Well, then how did he vote for Trump? Did he just vote for Trump the first time? Because this says that Monday, December 19th, 2022.
Yeah, that's the one I was just reading. Because I looked up Joshua Hall, Pennsylvania. I'm trying to find. Why is he there? What's happening?
Yeah, we need to do some research on this.
Looks like there might be an appeal.
Yep.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the same guy. Crowdfunding website and several fake social media accounts to raise funds that he claimed would go towards supporting President Trump's re-election campaign. Oh my God, stop it. In reality, Hall appropriated the money for his own use. He was indicted due to this conduct. While on pretrial release, Hall abused alcohol repeatedly and on one occasion called the office of a sitting United States congressman and threatened to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
As a result, Hall was charged in a superseding indictment with transmitting an interstate communication containing a threat to injure another person. Oh my.
Having previously pled guilty to both counts, Hall was sentenced for both offenses to 20 months imprisonment and 3 years supervised release. Well, then if he was, then he should 20 months.
Oh, he was out on
He should be
probation.
almost.
Listen
Okay.
to this. On January 9th, 2024, Hall announced that he was running for Congress via an undisclosed.
This guy! Oh my God!
He also used this account to issue another threat to the same United States congressman. Hall's probation officer petitioned the district court to issue an arrest warrant for Hall's violation.
So he was out on bail. That's why he was free until the. Oh my.
Hall was arrested, highly intoxicated, shortly after.
Dude, stop hitting the bottle.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not hitting it now, clearly, right?
Definitely, he's in prison. Oh my goodness.
Wow. So, okay, interesting. That's all right.
Wow. Oh man. So we did some data mining on that. Wow.
He did that and then I guess voted for Trump in the meantime. Okay.
Wow. Wow. That's not how I expected that to end. I thought it was just dude bro that's a bit dense sent a letter. I didn't realize there was a whole fucking backstory.
Rabbit hole.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't there always? Oh my. Literally. He's gonna be the head of the Fed.
He's gonna be put on in charge of the Department of Corrections. After all, he's already there. Oh my goodness. Well, that was fun. That was a lot more fun than I thought it was gonna end on. Oh my goodness. Anyways, so any final thoughts for us tonight, Platinum?
Oh no, I have our shitco season song that I can throw on.
Oh
as we go
yeah.
out.
That is right. We'll use that as our outro out.
Outro music. Let me share my screen.
All right, we'll let it play out, and we'll see you folks next week, pending some extra or something like that.
Alrighty. Hold on, let me go. There we go.
Shitco season. Yeah. This shitco season, frauds a trend. Laws don't matter, they just bend. Inside of games, the admin won't mind. They legalize crime when profits align. Buying the top with the charts on fire. Betting it all on the bubble empire. It's shitco season, markets climbing high. SEC is gutted, watch the watchdog die. The admin dropped the shitcoin, corruption on cue. Then pardon the fraudsters, that's what they do. Summer's gone, winter's not here. Scams are blooming this time of year. Shitco season, shitco season, shitco season. Yeah. Zombie tickers rising from the grave. Rebrand the logo, AI waves. Balance sheets empty, but the headline's sweet. We're a shitcoin treasury, can't be beat. YOLO! It's shitco season, markets climbing high. SEC is gutted, watch the watchdog die. The admin dropped the shitcoin, corruption on cue. Then pardon the fraudsters, that's what they do. Summer's gone, winter's not here. Scams are blooming this time of year. Shitco season. with the manufactured glow. Power and money run the whole show. History's written line by line. The secret ingredient is crime. Shitco season.